Welcome inside SaskTel Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm Dave Thomas, joined by Casey Guerin, getting you set for Game 2 of the National Lacrosse League's West Division Final. Game 1, a week ago at Pepsi Center in Denver, where the Saskatchewan Rush defeated the hometown Colorado 18-9. And you look at that game, Casey, and who would have foreseen an 18-9 final score?
Well, nobody. And I think, the Rush have the ability to pull away from teams, but I don't think anyone saw a 9-1 fourth quarter for the Rush.
Yeah, and that was the difference in the game. One that was a seesaw battle as we take a look back at what happened last week at Pepsi Center down in Denver. And the Mammoth, they came out flying as they came out with a great effort early on. You're going to see Eli McLaughlin, his first of 2 goals on the night, as he sets up shop on the right side of the crease and then puts it past Aaron Bold to make it 1-0 early on for the Mammoth. Then in transition, Jeremy Noble would get his first of 4 goals, a shorthanded tally for the Mammoth to make it 2-0. But the Rush, they kept chipping away, and this shot by McIntosh goes just wide onto the stick of Ryan Keenan, who goes airborne, keeping his feet out of the crease, and makes it 2-2, and that is the way that we would end things up in that first quarter. Go early on in the second stanza, and we knew this was going to be a goaltending battle, and that's where Aaron Bold comes in with a chest stop, one of his 31 saves on the evening. Then it was Jacob Rouet, and Rouet does a nice job to elude a check, and then he slides it home to make it 5-5, and that's the way the first 30 minutes would end. So a very much a seesaw battle through the opening 2 quarters. Turn the page to the third quarter, and that is where you'll see Adam Jones start to go to work. Jones at 6-6 at the time, and that's his first of 6 goals to even the score at that point, and the Rush start to gain some momentum while they're on the road. Jones then at it again, this time using Mark Matthews as a screen way up high in the offensive zone, but he's able to slide it past goaltender Dylan Ward, and the Rush again have capitalized on some momentum. That was Jones' second. Eli McLaughlin, though, and the Mammoth weren't done. McLaughlin, right in the middle of the Saskatchewan defense, gets a quick stick on a ball, puts it past Aaron Bold to make it 9-7. We knew the goaltenders. We talked about them. They were going to be keys in this game. Dylan Ward, number 2 in the NLL this season, and he makes a fine stop there on Jeremy Thompson in transition. He'd end the evening with 38 saves. It was 9-8 through 3 quarters. But again, the Rush offense goes to work early in that fourth stanza as Mark Matthews goes airborne just 26 seconds in to make it 10-8. The Rush would never look back. Like you say, it was a 9-1 fourth quarter, and Adam Jones, who was on fire throughout the final 30 minutes of this game, puts that one past the surprise goaltender for his 6th goal, sock trick goal of the night for Adam Jones, and the Rush go on to that big 18-9 victory in Game 1 week ago. Casey, and trying to get the reset button, if you will, for the Saskatchewan Rush into Game 2. How difficult is that, and what do they need to do tonight?
Well, they're going to feed off the hometown crowd here, and the first thing they need to do is do what they did in Game 1, and that's shut down the Mammoth transition. And this is the time of year where Aaron Bold plays his best lacrosse, so we can expect a solid performance on the back end.
Those thoughts not lost on Rush GM and head coach Derek Keenan, whom we caught up with earlier today. Coach, tonight, 6th meeting of the season against the Colorado Mammoth. Obviously not a lot of secrets between these 2 teams.
No, there really isn't. I mean, you get 4 times during the regular season to get them, and last week, so there really isn't. I mean, I'm sure each team will make, both teams will make adjustments, and we'll have ours prepared, but we're happy with the results so far. We hope to keep our momentum going into tonight.
You mentioned the momentum word. Can it carry over week to week, game to game? Obviously, it goes through ebbs and flows over the course of a game.
Sometimes. I mean, there's obviously a pretty big gap. It's a week between games. But we went out of there feeling good about ourselves. And however, we're certainly not 9 goals better than we were. We got on a run there in the fourth quarter, and sometimes they're tough to stop in this league. And we were fortunate to have that, but we know that they're going to bring it because they're going to be in desperation mode, and we need to match that or even exceed it.
Colorado was able to get 2 shorthanded goals a week ago and set a bit of a tone, but you must be happy the way your team responded.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we got down 2-0 early and then down on another shorthanded goal, but we did respond well. We were a little bit slow out of the gate last week, but other than that, I thought we played a pretty strong 60 minutes. At the same time, though, we don't want to be giving up shorthanded goals. They can be backbreakers. We were fortunate to rebound from that.
When it comes to rebounds, your team got a number of rebounds, especially in the fourth quarter, controlling a lot of the play just by getting to those loose balls first. Was that the key to the turnaround and getting that 9-1 outcome in the fourth quarter?
That was certainly part of it. I thought one of the, we scored in our first 2 shifts. Mark scored twice in a row there, and that really got us rolling. And then we seemed to get our really get our legs under us and did get a lot of repossessions, and that's just hard work from our offense and even at times our defense stepping up and creating turnovers. So I thought we did an excellent job in limiting their transition game, and at the same time we put a pretty good push on ourselves from the back end, and that's important to our success.
And I guess one thing you mentioned was Mark going ahead and taking the bull by the horns, but if it isn't him, it's Adam Jones who gets the sock trick. If it's not him, you go and you move down the line. You've got so many weapons. That's obviously makes your life easier as the coach.
It does, and makes us hard to defend, and I know teams try to come in and focus on Mark because he's such a dominant player, but the other part about Mark is he's so unselfish, and he really doesn't care who gets the goals or the points or the assists. To him, it's all about the wins. And obviously last week a huge game from Adam Jones, especially fourth quarter. He's that type of player. When he starts finding a shot, he can be really dangerous, and it'd be nice if we saw a repeat of that.
Coach, thanks so much for this. All the best tonight.
Thanks very much.
On the other side, the Colorado Mammoth have got to go ahead and get past that Game 1 loss and get themselves ready for a hostile environment tonight.
Well, they do, and the one thing they're going to need is solid performance here at Saskatchewan Center. There's 2 previous performances this year. They played really well here, and that includes Dylan Ward, who almost stole a couple games here. So the Mammoth are going to need to rely on Dylan Ward again here tonight.
And those thoughts not lost either on head coach Pat Coyle of the Mammoth, who also joined us earlier. Coach, Game 2 tonight, what does your team need to do to rebound from Game 1?
Well, I think the obvious answer is win. If we don't win, we go home. So that's how we're looking at it. It's just one game. We just need to win one game.
One and done. I guess you've been in that position before. Does that give you an advantage having taken on Vancouver earlier in this postseason?
I think so. We know what it feels like to win. It felt different last weekend, knowing that there's another game. So, and the Vancouver game was different because we knew that if we don't win that game, we're done. So I think, I don't know if it gives us an advantage, but it gives us experience at least.
You've played well in this building all season. Does that give you an added boost? And what do you need to do to play well here?
I think a big thing is to take the crowd out of it. So eliminate the runs that the Rush are so well known for. Is try to limit their runs. I think that's a big part because the crowd really seems to, they feed off the crowd feeds off them. So if we can try and make it more of a neutral field here, I think the better for us.
Special teams, I thought your group fed off them well last week, 2 for 2 on the power play, a couple of shorthanded goals. Obviously you need that success to continue.
Yeah, I think we do. The biggest thing different from last week, I think we'd like to stay out of the box. There was too many penalties, and this is such a good team that if you give them enough opportunities on the power play, they're going to score. So that'd be more our focus, is to stay out of the box tonight.
You know, the guy would look at the stat sheet and say Zach Greer, Callum Crawford, but you look down the list, Jeremy Noah last week, Eli McLaughlin was terrific. Those guys all have to step up. I'm assuming you want an entire group to step up tonight.
Yeah, I think what makes when we are doing our best is when it's a balanced attack from the back end as well, not just the front. So we really want everyone contributing tonight.
Coach, appreciate this time. All the best.
Thanks a lot.
The Rush and the Mammoth are moments away for first face-off here on NLLTV.com and, of course, across the world on Twitter. As we get you closer to face-off, we'll head and join our friends over at the box.
This week on the Box Playoff Special, a tie game heading into half. Would it be the Mammoth or the Rush coming alive in the second half?
Adam Jones felt right at home in his old home, making a serious case for this week's Box Boss. Don't go anywhere, it's all coming up on this episode of the Box Playoff Special. Well, the Saskatchewan Rush looking strong in Game 1 of the West Division Finals, running away with this one with a final score of 18-9 over the Colorado Mammoth. And we are here to break it down for you. Mia Gordon and Tyson Geik here. And welcome to this episode of the Box Playoff Special Postgame edition as we take a closer look at the West Division Finals Game 1 between the Saskatchewan Rush and the Colorado Mammoth. Now, Tyson, this game was super close leading into the half. In fact, it was tied leading into the half, but the Rush just able to pull away in that second half. A huge game from Adam Jones and a huge game for the entire team in the fourth quarter. 9 goals compared to Colorado's 1. So let's take a look at what happened with the Saskatchewan Rush in this one.
Well, Mia, the Saskatchewan Rush have so much playoff experience, it makes them a very scary team to play against. They were able to find the holes in the Mammoth defense and exploit them. A pair of goals from Matthews to start the fourth, Jones beating his man and going in for the goal. The Rush stayed calm in a close game, and they turned on the Jets when they needed to. You cannot afford to take a quarter off against this team. They're gonna burn you. The offense really turned it on at the right time, and they put the Mammoth away.
As for the Colorado Mammoth, this is a team that we've spoken about all season long, having a defense-first approach, but giving up 18 goals in this game. That just can't happen in playoff lacrosse. So what do they need to do to prepare for Game 2 now?
The Colorado Mammoth were in this thing until the fourth quarter. I said in the pregame show that playing a full 60 minutes of lacrosse would be imperative. Well, they played a full 45 minutes, and then they let up. I believe that they're a little outmatched by the Rush, and that's why this team needs to come together and steal a game on the road in a do-or-die situation. If they're able to pull that off, anything can happen in a 10-minute Game 3. The Mammoth needs some unlikely heroes, though, if that's going to be able to happen.
Well, a disappointing Game 1 for the Colorado Mammoth, but let's listen in to hear what they had to say about this game and how they're preparing for next week.
The good thing about this two-game series is we got a game next week, so there's a lot of things that we did wrong, and that's not what we do. We don't play that way. So, maybe that'll give us a little bit of fire for next week. We got embarrassed in our building tonight, and we didn't have our best.
Again, a lot of lessons to be learned from. And we go in again next weekend. Again, we're right there, pretty much up to the second half, and then we got to learn from a lot of lessons that happened there, and them shooting, be able to score. And we made it hard on D where we gave up too many looks and too many shots. So again, a lot of things to learn from. Hopefully, we can go back and watch a lot of film and make sure our bodies are ready for Saturday.
Tyson, there were some huge performances from plenty of players in this game, but who have you got for this box boss?
Box boss for Game 1 of the West Final is most definitely Adam Jones. Goes into the Pepsi Center, an arena he used to call home, and scores 6 goals. He's not always been someone that the Rush have had to rely upon during the regular season, but he certainly was a force for the team when they needed him most. It'll be interesting to see how he follows up a performance like that one. And now, Mia, I turn it over to you for this game's unsung hero, a player who may not have chipped in on the score sheet but contributed to his team's successes in some other ways. So, who have you got?
I wouldn't really say he's a player that goes under the radar, but my unsung hero for this game has to be Mark Matthews, and that's mainly because he's been a hero for the Saskatchewan Rush all season long. In this game, only two goals, but 7 assists, leading the way for the team in assists. Such an unselfish player leading this team, and if they are able to come out on top of this one, he is going to be a huge reason why the Rush make it to their 3rd straight Champions Cup. He's been such a leader on the floor and off the floor for this team all season long, and while he might not be an under-the-radar player, he's definitely been a hero for this team, not only in this game, but the entire 2017 season. Well, Tyson, we had 2 big plays going up against each other in versus our first playoff edition last week, so I want to know who the winner is, and I want to know which play you got from the West Division Finals to go up against the best play from the East Division Finals.
All right, well, last week we had Logan Schuss going head-to-head with Dan Lintner in an East versus West semifinal matchup, and Logan Schuss came out the champ. This week we have 2 new plays. Mike Poulin's save will face off against Eli McLaughlin's one-timer off of a beautiful feed from Callum Crawford. Here's the top play from Game 1 of the West Division Final.
Greer, Noble, Crawford, pumping, backhanding, inside McLaughlin, one-timer scores! What a greasy feed from Callum Crawford, and even slicker finish from Eli McLaughlin. And he gets the Mammoth's second power play goal. It's 9-7.
These behind-the-back plays are just so impressive. That is another huge one from Callum Crawford. I'll be excited to see how he goes up against a defensive play that we have from the East Division Finals. Well, that wraps up this box playoff post-game show. And of course, Game 2 of the West Division Finals will be taking place in Saskatchewan, Saturday, May 20th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And I am going to be there, getting to experience Rush Nation live. So excited.
Well, Mia, you've got to be super excited about that. All season long, we've heard about how crazy the crowd at the SaskTel Center can be, and you get to experience it firsthand. Be sure to bring back stories.
You can catch that game live at NLLTV.com. 9:30 p.m. Eastern is the start time, Saturday, May 20th. And of course, we will be back with you for the Box Playoff pregame show a little bit later on this week. So we will see you then. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for tuning in, and head on over to Twitter to vote for the Versus play in the second week of playoffs.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee.
For a berth in the Champions Cup final. Good evening, everyone, from SaskTel Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I'm Dave Thomas, along with Casey Guerin to my right and Todd Joyce between the benches at floor level for Game 2 of the NLL's West Division Final. The Rush opened this series a week ago with a runaway win in Denver, a game that despite the 18-9 final score could really have gone either way. Tonight, Colorado will need to regain the form that they showed in last week's opening 45 minutes, or the Mammoth may face extinction. Casey Guerin, boy, pretty electric in here, huh?
It is, and you know, we've come to expect that from SaskTel Center, but brought to a new level tonight. The rally towels are out, and it's playoff time here in Saskatchewan.
Todd Joyce between the benches tonight. Boy, I don't know if you're even going to be able to hear me, my friend.
Oh, it's going to be loud. It's going to be proud. It is awesome to be here. I was talking to Brandon just before the game. There are not many tickets left for walk-ups if you're still waiting in line. So this is close to a sellout tonight, and we're proud to have this on May Long weekend in Saskatchewan.
All righty, Todd, thank you so much. We are set for lacrosse tonight here at a sold-out SaskTel Center, or very close to. Let's get to your starting lineups tonight, brought to you by Dodge City Auto. Aaron Bold will be between the cage for the Saskatchewan Rush tonight. Made 31 saves on 40 shots a week ago. Number 3 in the NLL in minutes played. Number 2 in wins with 11-4 being his regular season record. He'll be joined on the floor by Adrian Soroketti, Ryan Dilks, Curtis Knight, Kyle Rubish, and in the first soft circle will be Jeremy Thompson, as this place is going bonkers. Meanwhile, for the Colorado Mammoth, in between the pipes, Dylan Ward, he allowed 15 goals and 53 shots, a 716 save percentage a week ago. He, however, was number 2 in goals against, number 2 in save percentage in the NLL, and he will mind the net tonight for the Mammoth as we are underway here at SaskTel Center. A behind-the-back shot that goes well wide by Jeremy Noble, who opened the scoring a week ago for the Mammoth, and they'll look to try to take this crowd out of it early. Callum Crawford onto the floor on the left side. He's marked by LaFontaine. He'll bounce it near side for Noble. Noble winds, doesn't fire. Now going to play it near side for the former Rush, Zach Greer. Greer going to twist and turn. Now plays it out in the middle for Noble. His shot is high over top of the net, and LaFontaine will pick it up, but we've already got a mix-up as there's a stick on the floor, and Jeremy Thompson was engaged with Zach Greer.
Yeah, and that's going to be a high sticking penalty here to Soroketti, as he finished his check, and it was definitely high, and the Rush will be shorthanded here to start off the game.
Well, this is a tough one. The Rush were 0 for 2 on the speedy collision penalty kill last week. 2 for 2 with the Colorado Mammoth, so they'll have the first opportunity to draw first blood here tonight at SaskTel Center on the man advantage. Thus far this season, the power play for the Mammoth against the Rush have operated at a clip of 63.2%. As mentioned, they were 2 for 2 last week. The penalty kill of the Rush, 0 for 2, but over the course of the regular season finished number 6 on the speedy collision penalty kill. but they're going to need to step it up here tonight. Play underway as Noble feeds it to Greer, down low. From McLaughlin now across the crease, shot right on. Aaron Bold makes a save. Rebound collected by the Mammoth. They'll play it out to the far side. They're going to give and go down in the corner. Noble takes it in the middle of the floor. To Greer down low. From McLaughlin back to Greer on the right-hand side. Into the middle now. Trying to find a shooting lane. Over to Greer. Takes a shot. That goes off bodies. And Minsky's going to take a swipe at it, but it's collected there by Rouet. Loose ball for the Mammoth, who continue on this power play very early on in the Dodge City Auto opening quarter here at SaskTel Center. Noble takes the ball near side for Greer. Back to McLaughlin for Greer into the middle of the floor for Noble. Goes far side, back to Noble in the middle. For Greer to Noble. Wines looks Greer into the middle. Tried to hit Callum Crawford. He can't come down with it. Rouet does. Now for Noble. Noble, time running out. Shot. That goes off a body, and Kyle Rubish was able to get into the shooting lane. And back comes Cornwall. Jeff Cornwall with Rouet in front of him. Cornwall going to slow things up. 13-17 to go in the opening quarter. 50 seconds remain in the penalty.
Yeah, you know, it was really good job on the rush man down there. Getting their sticks and their bodies in the shooting lanes, in the passing lanes. Not giving the Mammoth good opportunities in tight.
So the Rush have the ball in the offensive end. 7 seconds to go on the shot clock. Robert Church with the ball. Plays it to the near side for Curtis Knight. Knight, though, just going to be content to flip the ball to the far corner. Shot clock violation. And the Rush will have 28 seconds remaining on the penalty to Adrian Soroketti, who went off for high sticking. Jeremy Noble brings the ball up the floor for Colorado. 12:47 to go here in the quarter. We're scoreless at SaskTel Center tonight. McLaughlin plays it for Greer. Back to the middle for Noble. Down low. Walking out, trying to find a shooting lane. Finally going to shoot. And another save by Aaron Bold on the penalty kill off Callum Crawford. And Kyle Rubish will bring it up the floor. Far side for Brett Minsky. Minsky looks for Ryan Keenan coming off the bench. He'll be joined by Mark Matthews, and the penalty is over. 0 for 1 tonight are the Mammoth on the power play. First chance on offense for the Rush now is Jones. Had 6 goals last week. Plays it to Matthews. Now far side for Knight. Knight tries to find a lane, then cuts back to the left-hand side. Now working in the left corner. He'll take a shot there. Caught Dylan Ward off guard, and then he falls into the crease as he got belted from behind. No penalty, and Bryce Sweeting will scoop it up for Colorado coming up the floor. 11:52 to go now in the opening quarter for Dodge City Auto. Ball comes to Keogh. Dishes it off in the corner for Crawford. Now near side for Zach Greer, who makes his way onto the floor. Greer plays it down into the corner. Stepping out, that's Noble. He'll make a move, play it down into the corner. Battle there is Tor Reinhold, who had a great week last week. Then to Eli McLaughlin, and he scored a couple of goals that way last week as he was left alone at the top of the circle, but at this time he couldn't find it. Reinhold almost blows his shoe off. He tried to cut so hard, and he'll turn it over. Mammoth start back in transition. Quickly up the floor, looking into the middle. Capito has it. Of course, transition to the player a couple of years ago, and they'll slow things down.
And Brad Self, the reigning transition player of the year.
Yeah, there you go. Played far side, into the middle. Mammoth take a shot, and that goes off. Aaron Bold, shot clock right now, 3-1 in favor of Colorado. Played to the far side, now near side for Zach Greer. Greer plays it down loop for Wardle. Wardle going to go to the far side. Switch there. Far side as the Rush set up their defense. McLaughlin plays it down low, looking for Wardle. Wardle tries to get a shot off. That goes wide into the far corner. Bounced away, and then it's going to go off LaFontaine as the Rush have been blocking all kinds of shots tonight. Jeff Cornwall going to scoop it up and bring it back up for the Rush.
And you know, when the Rush defense is at their best, they're always getting in lanes. They're very frustrating to play against. They're always getting their sticks in the shooting lanes and in the passing lanes, knocking everything down.
Adam Jones with the ball on the floor. Comes far side for Matthews. Matthews going to dish it off for Robert Church. Church going to head towards the goal, going to stop up, looking for a pass, finds Adam Jones behind the goal line, as it were. Now for Jones on the right side of the floor. Jones going to take a shot. I don't think Ward was able to get a piece of it, and hence a shot clock violation with 9:55 to go in the opening quarter. Still scoreless. We'll take a break and come back with more NLL playoff action. This is the National Lacrosse League on 98 Cool and NLL TV.
Hi, this is Patty.
Missed the action in the NLL last weekend? Maybe you want a little analysis. Mia Gordon and Tyson Geik break things down twice a week in the NLL's flagship show, The Box. Catch all of the highlights, scores, and exclusive interviews in both our pre- and post-game episodes every week on NLLTV.com.
He's got Digby on the take, scores!
Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot, hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
Thomas, Casey Guerin, Todd Joy's back, and Todd, communication is key in lacrosse, and a lot of it going on between the benches in that timeout.
Yeah, one of the things, even though Colorado's come on strong with a 4-1 shot clock here, Callum Crawford and Jacob Rouet at the break and in between when they were off were double checking, making sure they're on the same page. Callum Crawford did not like how that power play went, and he was making sure that they're going to be all on that same page if it happens again.
All right, and they're back on the floor as we're still scoreless. 5 minutes into the first quarter here tonight at Saskatchewan Center. Play back underway. The Mammoth take it into the Saskatchewan zone. Greer going to twist, turn, finds a lane to the net, takes a shot. Aaron Bold, another save for the Rush goaltender, who's been dynamite, and he's been called upon frequently thus far this evening. Now the Mammoth going to collect the ball, but Kyle Rubish will scoop up yet another loose ball and bring it up the floor for Saskatchewan. Dish it off foreside for Cornwall. Again, no captain Chris Corbeil in the lineup tonight for Saskatchewan. Ball played out of the near side corner for Dinsdale. Scoops it back. Now Matthews shot right on, and Dylan Ward, who's been terrific all year long, makes a good left arm save, and he'll air it out up the floor. Long lead feed for Capito in transition. He'll dish it off and go off. 9 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Still scoreless tonight at Saskatchewan Center. Greer plays it down low into the corner, trying to make a way out on the Mammoth, and then they'll swing it down low far side. Going to swing it into the middle, looking for Greer, who was cutting through. McLaughlin tries to get to the rebound first. Ball still bouncing, and it'll be picked up there by Matt Hossack. Hossack far side for Tor Reinhold. Had a beautiful goal last week in game 1 of this series. Ryan Keenan, speaking of beauties, he had a nice one and had one called off. Appropriate call, but boy, was it nice. Keenan now has it, looking for a lane. Cradling the ball on that far side. Into the middle for Dinsdale. Wines fires, elects not to shoot. Now Knight into the middle. Backhand shot by Keenan. What a save by Dylan Ward.
I don't even know how he caught that ball, Dave.
Wow, one-handed spin around backhand shot. Not bad. Callum Crawford now onto the floor with a mission on the left side. Looked like he was going to dish. Instead, he'll head to the corner. Under the watch of Jeremy Thompson. Now plays it back to Noble near side point for Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin takes a shot low. Aaron Bold, another save. Scoops it up, plays it for Dilks. And the Rush come back the other way. 7:47 to go in a scoreless opening quarter tonight in Game 2 of the NLL West Division Final. The winner of this series will play Georgia in the Champions Cup. Georgia defeats Toronto 13-9 in Game 2 of their East Division Final earlier tonight. Played down low for the Rush in the offensive zone. Takes a shot, Robert Church right on, and Ward able to make the save and get to the rebound first. Now long lead feed looking for Capito. He's being hassled by Jones from behind. Capito takes the shot, another save, Aaron Bold. Boy, great shot by Capito, and now here come the Rush. Things start to open up. Matthews in the offensive zone. Waits for the offense to come on, a little bit slow and Tardy getting onto the floor, but transition will do that.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen Capito be overthrown, but we just did that time.
Ball now near side for Knight. He'll take his shot. That goes off bodies and bounces near side half board. It's going to be brought up the floor in part by Stewart. Now he'll go far side. 2-on-1 for the Mammoth coming into the zone. Shot coming in. Scores! Greg Downing, the defender, going to open the scoring here in this game tonight as he made a nifty move, a little delayed hesitation that Bold couldn't follow through on.
Well, it was good patience there by Downing because it looked like he was going to settle for that shot from outside. But he hesitates, keeps the ball, takes a few steps to the front of the net, and makes no mistake in on Bold. And good little hesitation there. Fakes his man out and just sees the lane to the net, takes it, and makes no mistake that time. And Mammoth get on the board first here in Saskatoon.
Yeah, and that'll make some viewing parties of the Mammoth extremely excited tonight. We say hi to the folks that are joining us at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton, the Alamo Draft House at Sloan's Lake, and Bender's Bar and Grill south of the border, who are checking this out. Understand it's sold out there, and well, that'll bring them to their feet early on as the Mammoth draw first blood. McLaughlin, far side. That shot goes, I thought it went off a Rush player. Instead, they say it directly over the glass, and the Rush will get the ball. Messenger brings it up for the Rush. Dishes it off to Adam Jones near side. Again, Jones with this sock trick last week. Ben McIntosh now. Near side for Robert Church. Going to go far side for Matthews. Near side for Knight. Knight with a lane. Takes a shot and he just misses that wide. Matthews on the rebound. 5 seconds on the shot clock. I think he thought he got a reset. Instead, he's going to just dish it towards the goal. And that'll go off the stick of Curtis Knight. And we'll change up. 5:58 to go. Mammoth leading the Rush 1-0. Ball brought up the floor. Jeremy Noble. He had a great week last week in game 1. Plays it into the corner. Now comes back for Eli McLaughlin, who had a pair last week. He'll dish it near side. That goes to Greer. Zach Greer now to the far side for Noble. He'll take a step in. Now going to try to swing it off near side. Kyle Rubish will pick it up. Plays it far side for Ryan Dilks. And the Rush defender brings it up the floor. In transition, here come the Rush. Trying to head to the net in a quick manner was Marty Dinsdale. He doesn't get there and now is going to have the ball come out of his stick. Soroketi, pardon me, runs into a couple of players. Now Keenan is going to have to battle away. Dan Coates brings the ball up the floor for Colorado. 5:14 to go. He'll leave it for Wardle. Wardle now to the far side. Tries to bring it in, and a shot and save by Aaron Bold. Gets his left arm on it. Noble now going to take a hit from Messenger. He'll battle there in the far side quarter. Then we'll swing it back out for Greer. Near side it comes.
That's really nice work by Noble there. Good Lucy getting out of trouble.
Greer now. Back far side for Crawford. Crawford going to walk into Greer, and another save by Aaron Bold. He has been fantastic, folks. That's his 7th save on 8 shots. Played up for Messenger, who comes through the floor. Near side now for Robert Church. To Matthews. Fakes a shot, then in. Matthews scores! Wow. Pound your chest, Saskatchewan! Rush goal!
Oh, that's a beauty goal. Matthews just faked them right out of their shoes on that one. And then he finds himself alone. Bit of a bad angle. Takes it and almost shovels it in past the left shoulder of Dylan Warden. I don't think I've seen a goal like that ever.
That's effort. That is effort. Mark Matthews got the ball and said, we need a goal, and he got it. 1-1, 4:33 to go here in the Dodge City Auto opening quarter. Possession will be given to the Mammoth, and we're going to get a timeout. 4:31 to go. It's Saskatchewan 1, Colorado 1. This is the National Lacrosse League from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan on 98 Cool. Kevin Strunk here from Dodge City. Center, Saskatchewan and Colorado are now knotted at 1 after the Mark Matthews goal. For Matthews, that's goal number 3 in the postseason. And Casey, we were talking about it at break, maybe an unfortunate time to go to break for the Rush as they had got some momentum.
Yeah, and you know, Mark Matthews has been scoring some big goals for the Rush, well, for a long time, but you know, a lot of his goals lately have been coming in clutch time in the 4th quarter, and you know, he's had some rough, shouldn't say rough, but not as successful 1st and 2nd quarters, but that time he just faked those defenders right out and took it to the net.
Mammoth bring the ball up the floor on the restart. Comes for Greer, who plays it to the far side into the middle, and a shot low that goes through the crease but not on goal. No reset. Ball is swatted away by Dilks, Nice defensive positioning there on Chris Wardle as the Rush have the ball, bring it up to Adrian Sorokenny. He'll dish off for McIntosh, who comes onto the floor. McIntosh, 15 goals in 5 games this season against Colorado. Matthews, the latest goal scorer, heads towards the net, then going to back out. Looks for a man, looks for a pick, going to get it from Adam Jones. Near side for Robert Church. Church down low, walking out. McIntosh, his low shot, going to go off bodies and into the far side. It'll be picked up there by Mammoth after the shot clock violation, and they'll bring it up the floor. We're knotted at 1, 3:35 to go here in the opening quarter. Eli McLaughlin has it. He'll leave it now on the far side. Going to take a long shot to try to catch Aaron Bold off guard. I'm just not sure if he didn't like the set, Casey.
I'm not sure.
Long shot from a ways out.
Yeah.
And now Cornwall has it into the offensive end. Dish down low for Curtis Knight. Knight on the left side is going to bounce it out, allow things to set up in front of him. Now plays it for Keenan into the middle for Cornwall. Backhand shot.
Wow.
Scores! What a beauty backhander! Jeff Cornwall, 2-1 Saskatchewan.
Well, you know, most of Jeff Cornwall's goals come on the breakaway, and we know what he's doing. He comes in and just over the top corner, but oh man, he scores a beauty this time. A backhand from in tight, finds himself angle being taken away a little bit, and I'm sure Dylan Ward didn't expect a backhand coming from Jeff Cornwall on the doorstep. And 2 highlight reel goals for the Rush so far in the first quarter.
Oh, wow. First of the postseason for Cornwall. He had 10 through the regular season. He gets a big one there to give the Rush their first lead of tonight's game. But this is a long way from over. As Cameron Holding scoops up the loose ball, and another one face-off by the Mammoth. And out comes the offense. Callum Crawford on the left side. He'll bounce it near side for Wardle. Has a problem with it initially. Able to scoop it up, play it near side for Zach Greer. Greer gets away from LaFontaine, plays it down low. McLaughlin scores! Eli McLaughlin was very, very close to the crease, but he's able to bounce it under the right arm of Aaron Bold, and we're tied at 2.
Well, that was just a really good fundamental pick and roll. Sets the pick, McLaughlin does, and then he turns and goes straight to the net, and Greer finds him. Perfect little flip pass to him, and McLaughlin finishes. A nice fundamental play right there.
McLaughlin had a couple last weekend in game 1 of this series, and again, very quick stick, that time showing off his quick feet. He puts it behind Bold. We're tied at 2. Messenger comes in. He was 0 for 3 in faceoffs last week for Saskatchewan. He wins one here. The key time for the Rush will go to offense with 2:24 to go in the opening quarter. Ben McIntosh cradles the ball, walks out to the middle of the floor. Now plays it to the near side for Matthews. Back to Marty Dinsdale at the top. Dinsdale near side for Curtis Knight. Knight going to dance out towards the middle now to Matthews. Matthews fakes, takes. Now going to look for Jones. He'll take a shot low. That's off Ward's leg, and then it caroms all the way out to the neutral zone, and Ben McIntosh who picks up the rebound. McIntosh for Knight. Knight looks into the middle, now finds Matthews streaking, and that shot just goes low and wide. Rebound still loose, going to be picked up and scooped up by Jordan Gillies. And Gillies, a native of Richmond, British Columbia, brings it up the floor on the left-hand side. He'll slow things down as the Rush defense comes on. Rouet plays it far side for Jeremy Noble. Noble with the ball on the left side, going to play it back into the middle for McLaughlin, the latest goal scorer. His shot was more of a shot pass, if you will, and Wardle couldn't get much of a stick on it to redirect. Now Greer battling away, trying to get in, takes a shot. Aaron Bold with the save. Wardle on the rebound. Ball is loose, and Bold going to pick it up. Plays it near side, and Tor Reinhold has it. Up for Cornwall with a minute and 14 seconds to go in the Dodge City Auto opening quarter. Curtis Knight as the Rusher on the attack to Robert Church on the near side. Now for Ben McIntosh. Far side, it goes to Mark Matthews into the middle. Church shoots off the post. That ball's going to bounce back and across. And here comes the transition. Taylor Stewart. Stewart in, going to hold things up. Plays it back to Gillies. Then for Callum Crawford, led the NLL in shots this year. His low one is well wide with 44 seconds to go. He's all by himself. There's nobody else on the floor for Colorado. Mammoth still have the ball though. Crawford going to finally dish it off near side, as again the Mammoth only have 3 runners on the floor right now. Ball's going to be shot and scores! Zach Greer, all kinds of confusion at the Mammoth bench, but the former Rush forward able to take advantage of it as the Rush were looking around. Where do I cover someone? And he's able to put it low on the right-hand side of Aaron Bold to restore the Mammoth lead, now 3-2.
Zach Greer is one of the best shooters on the run in lacrosse, but normally it's coming across the top of the floor and he whips that sidearm. This time just a pinpoint accurate shot there, and Dave, you're right, I think there was confusion at the Mammoth bench there, and it started, I understand the 2-for-1 was an option there, but Crawford just shot one from 60 feet out there, and wasn't a very good shot selection, but ends up working out for them as he rags the ball and ends up getting it to Greer for the third Mammoth goal here in the first quarter.
17 seconds remains in the corner. McIntosh for Church, who looks up, 6-on-5. Rush of Bold, goaltender Aaron Bold. 5 seconds to go. Church shot right on. Rebound almost picked up by McIntosh. 2-1, and that'll do it for the opening quarter. As through 15 minutes of play, Colorado leads Saskatchewan 3-2 in Game 2 of the West Division Final. We'll take a break, come back with second quarter action next. This is the National Lacrosse League on 98 Cool.
I got update from Jimmy Quinlan.
15 minutes are gone. Let's go. This is Saskatchewan Rush Lacrosse, live on 98 Cool.
Back at Sask.
Voice of the Rush, Dave Thomas.
Back at SaskTel Center, we go downstairs. Todd Joyce.
Yeah, guys, so Coach Quinlan had 3 tips for these guys to get them back on. First one is watch the bench. Hustle off the floor to get to the bench. The second one is keep your holes and watch the holes that are way around. And the third one is increase the pressure. Make sure you guys are getting more and more pressure on these guys because of those holes.
Thank you, Todd. Yeah, it was very animated on both benches after the opening 15. Second quarter on now for Motion Fitness. 17 seconds in. Colorado leading Saskatchewan 3-2 thanks to the latest goal by Zach Greer. For Greer, that's his second of this series, pardon me. He scored on a penalty shot 1 week ago. Matthews now going to curl out, going to ship it off far side for Church. Church into the middle, long shot. Ward doesn't know where it is. He'll find it though and pounce on it prior to a Rush player getting there to knock it in.
And you know, one of those, as Todd mentioned, one of the points was getting the Rush offense off the floor and not giving Colorado transition, and I think that's what he was alluding to there.
Jeremy Noble plays a high feed for Callum Crawford. That'll go over and back. Rush will get the ball with just a minute gone here in the period. Now, far side, shot, scores! Brett Mitski takes a great feed from Mark Matthews, and that's just his second of the year, first of the playoffs, but the Rush will take it. Pound your chest, Saskatchewan, as we've got a meeting going on with the officials right now, as the Mammoth are arguing that the play should have been stopped.
Well, we just mentioned the Rush not giving Colorado transition, you know, guys like Capito and Self, these transition players of the year, you know, but it was bad pass there to Crawford, allowed the play to go down the field. Refs blowed in. I'm not sure what the conference is about, because I don't think anything looked out of the ordinary on that play. No,
they're waving the goal off, and the challenge flag had come out.
Okay, he must be calling a legal substitution.
Well, we're going to wait and see as Mark Matthews has got his arms outstretched. Kyle Rubish, who is the captain tonight in the absence of Chris Corbeil. We're going to get an overhead look at it on our replay screen as to whether or not that was actually a foot in the crease or not. I think at the end of this all, Saskatchewan is going to get the ball. And now we're going to have a discussion here with the officials with both head coaches. So Pat Coyle, Derek Keenan both going to get their discussion points in as the official goes over to the timekeeper's bench. So
yeah, well, it was obviously not an illegal substitution if the Rush are retaining the possession here, but.
And Derek Keenan doesn't like the initial explanation he received. I don't think he's going to win this argument. As the officials, the two that were closest to the play, waved it off. The official on the back, or pardon me, thought it was a good goal. The official on the backside didn't like it. So, end of the day, Rush are going to get the ball back, trailing by 1. Take the ball, or the goal by Mitski off the board, and Rush will go back to work on offense. Jones, his shot. That goes off a body and over top of the glass. Greg Downing able to get a stick in there. Downing, a goal already tonight. Jones plays it back for Keenan. Ball goes to the far side for Curtis Knight. Knight near side for Jones. Back to Knight. Knight, nice swim move. In on goal. Loses the ball at the last second. Goes into the corner. Knight, though, able to survive contact for Keenan on the near side. Keenan, far side pass. Looks for Dinsdale. He's got it. Cradling the ball. Tries to find Keenan near side, and he'll bally out. Now down low. Dinsdale off the post. What a great feed by Keenan onto the stick of Dinsdale, who then went off the iron. Downing going to bring the ball up the floor. He's hassled there by Jeremy Thompson, which draws the fans' approval here at SaskTel Center. Greer takes the feed. 13:08 to go here in the second quarter. Crawford with the ball down low. Bellying out. Mammoth have it. Played far side. Keogh had it for a moment and then looks for it again. And Aaron Bold going to make a save with 12:55 to go now here in the second quarter. Long bounce pass up for John LaFontaine. He'll leave it for McIntosh, who calls a different offensive play as he comes on. McIntosh threatens the net, then going to belly out. McIntosh near side for Adam Jones. Jones for Keenan. Winds, fires. That's over top of the cage. Rebound goes to McIntosh. His shot stopped by Ward. And he'll have a long lead feed up that far side. Hustling in is Brad Self in transition. Looks for McLaughlin, who's storming in off the bench. Instead, he'll give it to Zach Greer, who takes a more calm approach. His shot low on Aaron Bold and goes high into the air. Going to be swatted down by Cornwall, who plays it far side for Mike Messenger, and the rusher into the offensive zone. 12:10 to go, 3-2. Colorado leading Saskatchewan. Messenger twisting and turning. Now going to bounce it to Marty Dinsdale, who comes onto the floor. Dinsdale far side for Curtis Knight. Knight gonna walk out, take a shot that's low and wide. He's able to collect his own rebound though. Now played for Matthews, and his shot is high, and Ward makes a nice stop, holding his ground, and in transition back come the Mammoth. Played up far side for Geitch. For Wardle in the middle. Wardle now to the right side. Working against Jeremy Thompson. Takes a hack, then slows down as Rouet has it. Rouet down low for Crawford. Crawford swims away from a man, fakes a backhander, now going to go across the floor. Far side for Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin down low, all alone in front was Wardle, and Chris Wardle couldn't handle the pass.
And you know, Wardle's, the most success he's had this year has been against the rush. Remember that 5-goal game he had here earlier on in the winter.
Ball played now into the middle. Going to dip it off for Keenan. Keenan will attack the interior of that Mammoth defense. Is the rush a little slow in getting players onto the floor. Now Adam Jones has it. Only 5 seconds though on the shot clock. Jones winds, fires, and Ward makes the save. Rebound scooped up by Robert Hope. He'll take it behind his goal and then swing it out far side up the floor looking for Self. Brad Self for the Mammoth has it. 10:45 to go here in the second quarter for Motion Fitness on 98 Cool. Played down low. Crawford into the middle, tried to find a man, couldn't, and the rush scoop it up, and then it'll be bounced to the far corner where Midsky is going to pick it up and collect it for the rush and bring it up the floor. 10:30 to go here in the second quarter. Midsky now bounces it, slowing it down for Marty Dinsdale, who's on. Dinsdale will attack the left side. Going to play it down for Curtis Knight. Knight gets a big pick but can't find a lane. Then Matthews tried to find Dinsdale, who was cutting to the net. Played for McIntosh. McIntosh going to battle with 3 Mammoth players, and the rush will just back off and go on defense. Played up for Taylor Stewart on the far side. To McLaughlin, who's onto the floor on the right side. 9:55 to go here in the second quarter. Ball played back for Callum Crawford. Crawford dishes it down low. Far side goes to Greer. He's going to wind, doesn't take the shot. He's being covered by Kyle Rubish. Now into the middle. That shot by Rouet goes just wide, and then a long rebound that Adrian Soroketti takes a big hit on and then runs by the Mammoth bench on his way up the floor. Here comes the rush offense. 9:30 to go in the Motion Fitness second quarter. Marty Dinsdale has it. Plays it far side. Stepping into the middle is Church, and his shot is low off the pads of Ward. Now near side for Jones. His shot right on. Ward another stop with 9:18 to go. Here come the Mammoth in transition. 3-2 Colorado leads in game 2. The Mammoth need to win this to force the tiebreaker that will follow this game 2 immediately, but a long ways to go before we get there. Callum Crawford plays it down low. Sweeping through the middle of the floor is Noble. Now back down low for Crawford. Callum Crawford winds, fires. His shot goes wide and then goes off the back of Mitski, off the backboards. Colorado picks it up again, and we're going to have a crease violation with 8:50 to go. Colorado leading Saskatchewan 3-2. Back with more National Lacrosse League playoff action when we return on 98 Cool. 3-3, Todd Joyce.
Yeah, so as we were talking about at the last break, they wanted that bench. They wanted it quicker transition. They got it. The problem was it was a little bit too fast. None of the officials blew in the back and over, and that's why they called it no goal. That's why it took the conference, because the back guy is supposed to blow that in. He didn't, and they just took off, put that one behind the goalie.
And you know, most of the time they do give the benefit of the doubt there. They'll blow it in right away to keep the play moving quickly there.
Mark Matthews on the restart for the Rush. They're trailing by a goal to Robert Church, far side. Down low, Curtis Knight. Look for McIntosh, who was cutting through the middle. Still 14 seconds to go on the shot clock. Matthews with the ball. Loses it momentarily. Scooped up now down low. Jones shot right on. Dylan Ward, nice left arm save. And up the floor come the Mammoth. 8:20 to go here in the Motion Fitness second quarter. Mammoth with the ball in the offensive zone. Played for Callum Crawford. Crawford going to bounce it far side for Eli McLaughlin. 3-2 Colorado leads, looking to add to it. Rouet has it. Played down to the corner for Crawford. Crawford going to try to head out and bubble out, looking for a lane. Can't find it. Now dishes it off for McLaughlin, far side. McLaughlin behind the cage for Rouet. His shot by Aaron Bold stopped. And it's collected by Ryan Dilks. And the native of Hamilton, Ontario, brings it up the floor. Near side for Keenan. Keenan has it. Going to dance away from a man for a moment. Then Mark Matthews takes a shot, and that's right on. And again, another right leg save by Dylan Ward. And in transition comes Taylor Stewart. He'll take a shot. That goes well wide, but Geitch is able to collect the rebound off the end boards. 7:29 to go here in the second quarter. Ball comes to Robert Hope. Played it back for Crawford. Crawford down low for Noble. Noble winds, fires, shot right on, and it's in. Aaron Bold got a big piece of it, but it rolled in behind him. Diving effort by Mike Messenger to keep it out. He can't, and it's a big goal for Colorado.
That's one Aaron Bold is going to want back. That's a tough one. I understand it comes over a screen from up top, but he got the majority of that one, and it just squeaks by him through the 5-hole, and 4-2 lead here for the Mammoth.
So a first goal tonight for Jeremy Noble. A big one to extend the Mammoth lead to 2 and really silence this big crowd here tonight at SaskTel Center. For Noble in the postseason, that's goal number 5. As the Mammoth collect the ball on the faceoff. Errant feed, though, going to be collected by Kyle Rubish, and Rubish will dish it off far side for the Rush. Down by 2 now, 6:55 to go in the second quarter. McIntosh swings it out far side for Curtis Knight. Knight going to look for Keenan now in the middle. Keenan now plays it for Adam Jones as Mark Matthews gets belted from behind, and there's a penalty coming. Matthews, though, is going off the floor, or at least headed back towards the restraining line. Ball comes to Church. Jones shot right on. Ward able to make the save. Matthews picks it up. And Matthews points, says, okay, this is what we're going to do. 6-on-5 right now for the Rush. Penalty upcoming to the Mammoth. Matthews looks to wind fire, now plays it for Church. His shot off the bar. Rebound bounces back to Mark Matthews, who still winces in pain.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay with using some of this 30 here before taking a shot.
6:07 to go. Crowd comes to life. However, a pass from Church goes off the top of Adam Jones' stick and out of the glass, over the glass and out of play.
That looked a bit like my junior team today.
Tough play there. And it's going to be a power play number 1 on the night for the Saskatchewan Rush. The power play brought to you by BN Metals. Last week, it turned out all right. They were 4 for 7, but keep in mind they gave up 2 shorthanded goals, did the Rush.
Yeah, that's got, you know, that happens sometimes when you're on the power play. The offensive guys seem to, you know, they'll maybe follow their shots a little bit more, chase those rebounds. And then you got these fast guys, Brad Self, Joey Capito, breaking off the top off these shots and end up getting good opportunities.
Rush go to the power play now. Matthews and Jones exchange at the top. Played for Robert Church. Now back to Matthews. His shot goes off bodies and trickles in on Ward, who's able to keep it out. Ward now looking for the long lead feed, and Noble was coming off the bench. So too was Jeff Cornwall, and now we're going to get a discussion as to whether or not Cornwall may have left early.
No, I think they're discussing who it went out off of, and it should be Colorado ball.
Indeed it is. So the Mammoth throw a ball on from their bench.
Yeah, that's the right call.
Noble has it. He's got a goal in this one. 4-2 Colorado lead, a minute 42 to go in the BN Metal power play. As mentioned, 4 for 7 in game 1 with Saskatchewan on the power play. Overall this season, they were working at a clip of about 57% on the power play against the Mammoth's penalty kill. However, it's those 2 shorthanded goals that the Mammoth were able to score a week ago that really set them apart in the opening half. Played far side, high shot that goes well wide. Noble going to pick it up, and now there's way too many players on the floor for the Mammoth as they left really early, and we're going to get a whistle.
Well, the Mammoth were not a highly penalized team throughout the course of the regular season, but they can't afford to start taking a lot of penalties here against the Rush because, you know, as we said in the pregame, they've got to play a full 60 minutes to beat the Rush, which they're absolutely capable of doing, but they just can't take these unforced errors and let the Rush get back into this game.
Absolutely. The least penalized team in the National Lacrosse League through the regular season were the Colorado Mammoth, and now they found themselves down a pair of players for a minute 18. 5 runners to 3 for Saskatchewan. Ball played for Church. Back to Jones as Kyle Rubis just stays onto the top and scores! Ben McIntosh! Who else going to score against the Mammoth? The guy loves playing Colorado, and he gets a big power play goal to get the Rush within 1.
Well, yeah, you mentioned it, but all those goals against the Mammoth this year, you know, some guys just feel it against certain teams, and we talked about Wardle on the other side. You know, most of his big games this year coming against the Rush, and almost between him and Dylan Ward almost single-handedly took that one earlier on in the season here, Dave, and that's a big one there. Again, you talk about not taking these penalties, and especially, you know, there's good penalties and bad penalties, and, you know, the too many men penalties, they'll get you. Those hurt.
Well, Messenger's won another face-off for the Rush, who will go back to work on the BN Metal power play. A minute 40 to go in the penalty for the Mammoth. 5 minutes to go in the Motion Fitness second quarter. Colorado leading Saskatchewan 4-3. Ball played to Matthews in the middle. Looks to set things up on the power play. Matthews takes a shot. That goes just wide. Rebound collected on a nice play there by Robert Hope, and he'll start up the floor for the Mammoth in transition. 1:19 to go on the penalty.
He's a loose ball machine, that Robert Hope. I tell you, the more I watch him, the more I like him.
Pass was intended for Callum Crawford on the Mammoth. That goes awry, and up comes Robert Church. And the Saskatchewan Rush, 4-3, Mammoth lead. A minute 4 to go on the Rush power play. They're 1 for 1 tonight, this being second opportunity number 2. Matthews plays it for Church. Matthews down low near side for Keenan. Back to Matthews, winds, near side. McIntosh off the back of the net. McIntosh now back out for Adam Jones. Jones, he'll take a shot. That goes off an arm and way high in the air. Shot clock going to expire, and Jones plays it into the corner, and we'll get a break. Rush power play will continue when we come back. 4-3 Colorado leading. This is the National Lacrosse League on 98 Cool.
This is Saskatchewan Rush Lacrosse on 98 Cool.
Colorado leading Saskatchewan 4-3 here in the second quarter of play at SaskTel Center tonight. Good news for Mammoth fans. The Mammoth, who led after one, are 5-2 this season when they've held similar advantages. It's getting to half that's important for the Mammoth, because when they start strong, they generally finish strong. It's coming from behind that has been the Achilles heel this season for the Colorado Mammoth.
Well, and that's especially tough against a team like the Rush, who through the course of 60 minutes have a tendency to absolutely just wear teams down with their play. So being at least close in the game or having a lead against the Rush in the fourth quarter is a big deal.
Play blown back in. Callum Crawford with it for the Mammoth starts up the floor. 34 seconds to go on the Rush power play. Jeremy Noble on the left side, content just to allow time to tick on this penalty kill. Still cradles the ball now right in front of his bench, being watched by Jeff Cornwall. Cornwall Gives up the outside, but then he'll be chased by Messenger. Far side shot. Nice setup there by the Mammoth, and the shot by Wardle bounces over the glass and out of play. Tor Reinhold has it. Plays it up to the far side for Matt Hossack. Now for Ben McIntosh, the most recent goal in this game. 4 seconds to go on the Rush power play. Church looks like he's going to stop and pop. Instead, Matthews reads that the penalty's expiring. Back to Church. Scores! Robert Church! What a goal! Mark Matthews had the stick knocked out of his hand after passing it, but Church follows through, scores the goal. We're tied at 4.
And that won't go down as a power play goal, but it may as well have been. They let the penalized player get out of the box just so they don't give up a fast break potentially. But still, Robert Church ends up gaining the top of the floor. And we know what he's been doing on the power play all season long. And when he gets the time and space on the top of the floor like that, an uncontested shot, he's going to score a good percentage of the time. And he does there.
22 power play goals this season through the regular season and postseason for Robert Church. Like you say, that one will not be a power play goal. But it gets the Rush even with the Mammoth at 4 with 3:06 to go, and this game eerily taking on very much the same character that this did a week ago. As the Mammoth, after a turnover by Soroketti at the middle line, shot right on by Self, and he'll carry on with the ball. Flips it up, that goes off the dasher, and LaFontaine will scoop it up and then get it to Thompson. Thompson through the middle. Looks like he's going to settle things down. Now finds Matthews, scores! But they're going to wave it off. Mark Matthews may have stepped in the crease, and that's what they're going to rule.
Yeah, and you know, that was really good hesitation by Thompson because he looked off the defender knowing that Matthews is going to come in streaking through the center, and Matthews couldn't keep his feet out of the crease, though.
Mammoth come back on the counterattack. Rouet plays it near side for Keogh, now down into the corner for Crawford. Crawford, as the challenge flag from Saskatchewan has flown. 2:21 to go.
I'm surprised they could see it. Right on the red Co-op Saskatoon sign on the floor.
Well, is this, again, Mark Matthews wasn't convinced that he went into the crease.
He's got big feet though, Dave. I don't know.
Well, we're going to get a look at it upstairs here with our replay as, again, Jeremy Thompson sized up the passing lane, and boy, I don't know.
You know, that's one of those plays where Mark Matthews, usually when he's coming across the top there, he'll just go airborne and sell right out. And he doesn't. He kind of stutter steps a little bit, and that's not really what he's used to doing. So I'm not sure he would have, you know, his situational awareness maybe isn't the same as when he knows he's going to take off and go airborne. I think it's going to be close.
It does look very close. Todd Joyce, they're showing a replay up on the Jumbotron. What are your feelings?
One of the things that I heard down here is they were upset they didn't actually get the replay. They were treated like the away team. So that's why he threw that. He was unsure. I think it's too close to call, and I think it'll stand what was called on the floor. So that'll be no goal.
Yeah, let's remember there has to be conclusive evidence the other way to overturn it.
Absolutely, you're correct. And again, they are going to take the time to review this. It's going to be hard to find a conclusive angle, too.
Yeah, we've only seen really the one angle. Okay, here's the second angle. By the first one, there's definitely not conclusive evidence, one way or another.
Oof, that one's even closer as we just got another look in-house here. And again, it's the left foot of Mark Matthews, the one that we're going to watch for. But Matthews felt that he had scored, and 9 out of 10 times the athlete is knowing where his feet were.
It's tough in lacrosse. You're not looking at your feet. Here's one thing. If I'm an NLL player, Dave, I am definitely wearing white shoes.
Yeah.
Because if you're wearing black shoes, that becomes a little bit more obvious if you're in the crease.
Wow, I'm squinting at the latest overhead that they've frozen.
I think they're going to keep the call the way it is. I don't think there's enough to overturn it.
Crowd is going to tell you right away here.
Now, I will say, if they called it a goal, I think it would have stood.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was that close, but we're still knotted at 4 with 2:21 to go. Mammoth will get the ball with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Callum Crawford will take it, number 2 in the NLL in shots taken this year. Played to the far side. Comes back to Rouet after a return pass. Down low for Callum Crawford. Crawford out of that left side. Plays it for Zach Greer. He's got a lane, but that's closed off by LaFontaine and Rubish. Then a cross-floor pass is scooped up by Saskatchewan. And here comes Thompson in transition. Jeremy Thompson can't take the ball cleanly. Now will scoop up the loose ball and allow the offense to set up. 1:56 to go. McIntosh comes onto the floor. He'll take the ball, cradle it far side on the left wing. Comes to Jones. Back in the middle of the floor. Jones going to get it to Matthews. Took a hard knock earlier, but it seems none the worse for wear. Matthews going to walk out. Shoots! Ward, another save. A fine stop there by the goaltender. And a long lead feed. Up the floor. In comes the Mammoth, but again going to slow things down is Gaich, as he thought better of it. Then he'll feed it over near side for Jeremy Noble, who's got a goal, but his shot goes well high over top of the net. Rouet down low for Crawford. 10 seconds on the Mammoth shot clock. Crawford fakes a pass and then a swim move to get away from Reinhold. Played back for Noble. His shot right on. Aaron Bold with the save. Rebound picked up by Reinhold, and he'll play it up far side for the Rush. And Mike Messenger, he'll connect with Mark Matthews onto the floor. Now into the final minute of the Motion Fitness second quarter. Knotted at 4 here at SaskTel Center. Into the middle, Marty Dinsdale had a lane, but the ball fell out of his stick, and now it's scooped up into the middle. Brad Self has it. Self up the floor with 48 seconds now to go in this opening half. Self spins away from Dilks. Now plays it back for McLaughlin. He'll wind fire, and Aaron Bold with a save. McLaughlin goes down and scoops it away from the Rush momentarily. Now it's free in the far corner. 5 players scrum. Dilks with 3 Mammoth players. Sticks flying, ball flying out. Comes Self. Shot right on. Aaron Bold with a save. But now we've got something happening at the Colorado bench. It's going to be a timeout with 25.5 seconds. A quick call by Pat Coyle.
Yeah, and can you tell it's playoff lacrosse? Look at how hard they're battling in there for the Lucy. And, you know, really that ball popped right out to Wardle, who took it to the net. I'm surprised they went for a timeout there. He had a good opportunity on the doorstep.
So the teams will retreat to their benches and take the timeout. 4-4, we are tied here in the Motion Fitness quarter. Coming up at halftime, we're pleased to be joined by Mia Gordon. You've seen her on NLL TV?
Of course we have.
She'll be up to talk a little bit about her first experience to Saskatchewan. She met Grandma Rush earlier in the day. She's been taking in the atmosphere, and she will join us here after 30 minutes tonight here at SaskTel Center. Coming up post-game tonight, After Hours going to feature the man with the sock trick last week, Adam Jones. So if you've got a question, tweet it out at us and we'll get that done up for you.
Now, I'm just wondering if the Rush hired somebody to put on a Mammoth jersey and sit in the corner here and maybe get on him here in the second half, Dave.
Well, if you missed it last week in Denver, the former home of Adam Jones, who played his first 5 NLL seasons with the Mammoth, a fan said something to him, very derogatory, and he said it put a real burr in my saddle, for lack of a better term. And let's say he was some inspired in that second half.
Yeah, you know, when he's at his best, he can fake the goaltender out without actually throwing a fake. He puts his body into it like he's in the shooting motion, and the goalie has to commit. And once he does that, the goalie's out of position, and then he takes his shot. And he's one of the best in the game at doing that.
6-on-5 for the Mammoth to close out the half. The goal is empty. Ball near side with Callum Crawford. 14 seconds to go, allows things to wind down before they try their 6-on-5 play. 9 seconds, he'll engage. Plays it near side for Jeremy Noble. Noble, wind, fire, shot high on Aaron Bold. He'll make the stop. Ball is free. Half a second to go. Long shot by Cornwall is scooped out of midair by Zach Greer. And we're going to go to the break for the second consecutive week. Tied. This time it's 4-4. Saskatchewan and Colorado. Shots on goal. Saskatchewan 26, Colorado 20. Casey Guerin.
Well, you know, it is tight, and that's exactly what we thought. You know, last week, well, really, all 4 games in the regular season were really tight. The one in Colorado, there was a bad travel weekend for the Rush. Colorado beat them by a couple goals, but these are 2 really evenly matched teams. The Rush have the playoff experience. They've been there before, obviously going for their 3rd championship in a row here. But this Colorado team, they're hard to play against because they're very disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They push the ball well, and they have great goaltending.
Opening half is in the books from SaskTel Center. We're tied at 4. This is the National Lacrosse League. Tonight, you're watching it on Twitter and listening on 98 Cool.
Pro lacrosse teams are now fielded in Philadelphia, Boston, New York, Maryland, Montreal, and Quebec.
Yesterday there was friendly competition and not so friendly competition. We knew our true colors weren't just worn on our backs. They were painted on our faces and hoisted as high in the air as we could possibly carry them. Whatever it took to claim our turf. Yesterday, we left it all out there. Blood, sweat, tears. You name it, we left it. We kept ourselves focused and we kept each other in check. And the only thing we took were epic shots. Yesterday, we saw more twists and turns in 8 seconds than most people saw in an entire season. We lost the ball, lost our minds. We lost countless times in every game. If you could see the ball, that was a slow day. Yesterday, physics didn't apply to us. Gravity wasn't welcome in our box. Armed with just a stick and a ball, we took flight. Yesterday, we were the best we could be. Today is our day.
Time now for a special playoff edition of Versus. Mike Poulin from the East Division Final going head-to-head with Eli McLaughlin from the West Division Final. Here we go. Save coming up right here from Poulin. Sticks with Sandy Chapman, who cuts through the middle. Poulin with the acrobatic stop. Unbelievable. He was on fire in that game. And now we move to the West Division Final. Eli McLaughlin takes the behind-the-back feed from Callum Crawford and dunks it in with the one-timer. What a beauty. So fans, who have you got? Mike Poulin or do you have McLaughlin? Head to Twitter now. Cast your vote. We'll see who comes out on top as champ.
If there was a skip this ad button, you'd probably click it. If shrinking took an already great head and made it even better, you'd probably buy it. I need a coffee.
The Saskatchewan Rush are trying to become just the second team in NLL history to go for a three-peat. We take a look back at their 2 previous victories and find out just how difficult it is to make it 3 wins in a row. In 2015, the Edmonton Rush made it to their second Champions Cup final, and with 2 wins over the Toronto Rock, they hoisted the Champions Cup for the first time in team history. Fast forward to 2016, the team had a new home in Saskatchewan, but a familiar season.
Rumbling in, shoots, scores! Scores! The Saskatchewan Rush, on a hero goal from Jeff Cornwall, have won their second straight Champions Cup.
Dominating yet again and earning their second Champions Cup title in a row. Now the team is 1 win away from making it to their 3rd Champions Cup final in a row, and their eyes are on the prize. But a three-peat is no easy task, to say the least. In fact, only one other team in the NLL has accomplished this, the Rochester Nighthawks, who won in 2012, 13, and 2014. In fact, since 1938, only 50 North American major team sport franchises have managed a three-peat. Could the Rush become just the second team in NLL history to complete the three-peat? Catch all the playoff action live at NLLTV.com. For NLL Productions, I'm Mia Gordon.
He's got Digby on the take, scores! Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot, hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
For the first time since the 2006 season, the Colorado Mammoth advanced to the West Division Final. Now, they didn't get there without coming up with some massive plays. So let's take a look back at the top 5 plays from the Colorado Mammoth 2017 season.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
More, here's Crawford, doesn't take it, now Crawford, no scoring.
In the West Division semifinal, Callum Crawford potted his third of the night and what turned out to be the game winner, punching the Mammoth's ticket to the West Division Final. In the third game of the Mammoth season, Eli McLaughlin played the hero in overtime against the Black Wolves.
Eli McLaughlin with his second of the night. And the Mammoth will win it 11-10, just 51 seconds into overtime.
And it's definitely loud here in the Loud House.
It's Mike Mallory, 10 on the shot clock, feet across, here's Zachary, right in, faking, scores.
Okay, this one's a two-parter. Greer scores with seconds left to force overtime against an eventual first-round opponent in the Stealth. And then rookie Brent Adams seals it in overtime as the Mammoth come from behind to win.
And it's in, it's over, Mammoth win it.
That wasn't really, it was Adams, the rookie from Connecticut. And it's clean goal. The Mammoth are going to win this game 1 minute and 9 seconds into overtime.
And at number 1, Dylan Ward stands tall against the Rush to ensure the win against an ensuing West Division final opponent.
Outside shot, another kick save by Ward. Ball loose. Open up. Reno, what a save on the right shoulder of Ward.
Will the Mammoth be able to hold off elimination and live to die another day? We'll find out tonight. For NLL Productions, I'm Tyson Geick.
This past NLL season was incredible. It was exciting. It was jam-packed with amazing goals.
Here's Miles Thompson, puts it back and scores!
Incredible saves.
Carlson with absolute robbery on.
And huge games.
And he ends it. Vancouver is going home for the playoffs.
And if you don't have your subscription to NLLTV.com, you're going to miss out on all of that action during the 2018 season. And can you imagine if your group of friends is sitting there talking about the greatest plays from the night before, and you're the only one to not have your subscription? You're going to be missing out.
Don't be that person. Make sure to head on over to the NLL website to get your subscription today to make sure, well, you're part of that conversation, and also to make sure that you don't miss a minute of 2018.
I've got mine. She's got hers. Get yours today.
In a sour mood, but I don't expect anything different from them anywhere around me. I remember last game, they do not like my broadcast position every game, so I'm nothing less.
Well, we like where you are, Todd, and I'll just let you know, Casey, your takeaway from the opening 30 tonight.
Well, it's a tight one like we thought in the face-off circle. Saskatchewan 6 for 10. However, if you break that down, Jeremy Thompson only 1 for 5. Mike Messenger 5 for 5 from the dot tonight. So I would expect to see him take the majority of the faceoffs here in this second half. And as I look down, Jeremy Thompson is right there ready to go. So maybe they're just trying to get him going here, but we'll expect some adjustments here from him, I'm sure.
Way to jinx that as we're underway in the Motion Fitness third quarter. Thompson scoops up the ball, plays it near side for Knight. He has to swat at it once, and now Coates is tied up with Thompson. Ball comes all the way back to Adrian Soroketti, who picks it up, and we're underway. Tied at 4 here at a SaskTel Center that is absolutely electric tonight. Ball played to McIntosh from the bench. Goes far side for Mark Matthews. Near side for Marty Dinsdale. Dinsdale down into the corner looking for McIntosh. He's got a goal tonight. Another shot, and that goes off where the post meets the crossbar. What a shot by McIntosh.
As our friend Teddy Jenner would say, right off the junction.
Ball far side for Adam Jones. He's only had 1 assist thus far. That shot, though, right on. Ward, though, able to scuffle it away from his feet, and then we'll play it for Hope on the near side. Hope will go across the floor as Jones is tied up with his man heading off. Mammoth to the attack for the first time in this second half. Tied at 4. Zach Greer, the former rush forward, plays it down to the corner for Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin survives a check from Messenger, then dumps it off to the far side. Reinhold going to chase down Crawford. Now near side for Greer and Callum Crawford. And that pass to Greer as he was able to get a shooting lane, but Aaron Bold with a big stop here. Reinhold in transition, had a goal last week. That shot high off the glass, but Robert Church able to corral it with 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Church heads towards the middle. Slow change for the rush as Dinsdale a little bit late coming on, and Jeremy Noble will scoop it up, or pardon me, that's Gillies on the far side for the Mammoth. 4-4 just underway here in the third quarter. Game 2 West Division final winner will play Georgia for the Champions Cup as a shot for the Mammoth goes off the base of the post. Soroketti in transition brings it up the floor, under check there by Rue. Soroketti slows up though and then dishes to Mark Matthews, who comes in off the bench. 2 minutes gone in the Motion Fitness third quarter. Played far side for Adam Jones. Jones looks for a lane. Knight kind of zigged when he thought he was going to zag for Jones, and now Knight has it middle of the floor. Far side for Matthews into the middle looking for Church, and we've got a penalty coming up to the Mammoth. Rusher 1 for 2 on the night. They're going to get a third opportunity on the BN Metal power play.
And it looked like a hold on Robert Church as he was going to the net, and I think that's Robert Hope who's going to the box for the Mammoth. And it is, and you know, we talked about good and bad penalties to take, and if you've got Robert Church has got a couple steps on you and he's heading towards the net, cutting through the middle, yeah, that's one of those good penalties.
So Hope, the native of Peterborough, Ontario, in the box.
Take a drink.
For Matthews, mid-floor. Near side for Church. Wines doesn't fire. Now back to Matthews. His shot goes off bodies and in behind the cage. Keenan tries to get there. Can't. McIntosh does! Scores! Pound your chest, Saskatchewan! Rush goal! They'll take the lead on the power play.
Well, what an opportunist kind of goal there. The ball bounces right out to Benny Mack. He knows that Dylan Ward is out of the net, and he just takes it around the top and shovels it in. And that's an easy one for Benny Mack, but really good sense of where the net was there. And he comes around, and unfortunate for Dylan Ward there, he kind of got caught out a little bit there. And the Rush take their first lead of the game.
Well, Ryan Keenan did a great job behind the net to tie up his player to allow that ball to come to McIntosh. So the Rush slow to get on the floor. That means the Mammoth will take the ball, trailing 5-4. Noble far side for Eli McLaughlin. He'll play it to the near side to Chris Wardle. Wardle dishes off far side, half board, spinning, turning. There is Crawford now down for Wardle. He'll take a shot. McLaughlin scores. It's a pass instead of a shot, and McLaughlin another quick stick, able to slide it home after a nifty feed by the Mammoth to knot it at 5.
Yeah, and you know, it all started on that on the righties for the Mammoth there. Really hard pick and roll on Cornwall, and I don't know whether that was a breakdown on the Rush communication, because it sure didn't look like Cornwall saw or knew that that pick was coming, and they get it over to Eli McLaughlin with a really tough angle on that left crease, but he buries it, and nice finish around the net on that bad angle, as I say, and the Mammoth tie it up here quickly in the third quarter.
Well, Jeremy Noble was able to get the ball as now it's scooped by the Mammoth back into their own bench, and the Rush will now go on the attack. 11:57 to go here in the Motion Fitness third quarter. Another ball comes onto the floor, but Marty Dinsdale doesn't mind. He'll cradle the ball, play it near side for Curtis Knight. Knight, far side for Matthews. Drops it back to Knight on the near side of the floor. Knight looked like he was going to shoot. Instead, Beatles back for Robert Church. His shot goes off the arm of Ward. Nice stop there using the right arm. And the rebound comes back to the Rush, who get a new 30. Matthews, near side. Dinsdale scores! Marty Dinsdale cutting through the middle. Masterfully spotted by Matthews, and the Rush retake the lead.
Yeah, and when Marty Dinsdale and Curtis Knight, them kind of guys, can start pitching in with that supplemental offense for the Rush, they become hard to beat. And Dinsdale gets a couple steps towards the middle there, gets the ball cutting through, and nice twister there to beat Dylan Ward over his right shoulder. Nice twister to bring it back there. The Rush take the lead again here in the third.
Here comes the Mammoth, though. Another one face-off is Thompson having a tough night in the draw.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why they don't go back to Messenger, Dave.
Well, sometimes you go to the dance with the one that brought you, if you know what I mean.
I hear you.
If only I was ever asked to a dance. Long story. Noble takes the ball for Wardle near side. Played to Greer, who's really got a bounce in his step here. Plays it back for Wardle. Can't handle it cleanly, and the Rush scoop it up. Tor Reinhold brings it across half. Just under 11 minutes to go in the Motion Fitness third quarter. 6-5 Saskatchewan leads. Jones has a pass to the net, instead stops, then shoots, scores! Adam Jones, 7th goal in 2 games, and the former Mammoth player gives the Rush a 2-goal lead.
Well, if we remember, Adam Jones had kind of a tough half. He couldn't buy a goal last week in Denver. Dave, you were there, you saw it, and then in the second half he broke out, and boy, if he starts to break out again, the Mammoth could be in trouble.
Where is that Mammoth jersey in the corner? I don't see it yet. But that's a nice play, exactly what Adam Jones did a week ago. Just bounced off a check, spotted a lane, and then put it past former goaltender and teammate Dylan Ward. And the Mammoth are going to get possession again after a 1 face-off. 7-5, Saskatchewan leads Colorado here at SaskTel Center tonight. 10:40 to go in the third quarter. Crawford goes to the far side of the floor. Going to work on Reinhold one-on-one. Crawford went to a knee, then dishes off for Noble. Now behind the net for McLaughlin. He's going to run and storm out front. Nice defense there by Hossack. Now played into the crease. Bold, though, going to make a stop, and then plays it far side for Reinhold. Reinhold, long lead feed for Cornwall. Jeff Cornwall on the right side. He'll slow things down as the Rush offense comes on. 10:14 to go now in the third quarter. Keenan has it off the bench. The rookie, number 3 in rookie scoring this season. Swimming away from a man, takes it in, shot, and Ward with a nice stop on Ryan Keenan with a strong move towards the goal. He'll play it out far side for Brad Self. Just under 10 minutes now to go here in the third quarter. Mammoth trailing by 2, get the offense back on the floor. Far side, twist, turn, shooting. Aaron Bold with a stop, and the rebound is scooped up by Dilks. Dilks has it, plays it to the far side for the Rush. 9:44 to go, 7-5 Saskatchewan leading Colorado. Soroketti plays it for Mark Matthews, and he's going to stay on the floor. Now for Jones, 9.5 to go, far side for Matthews. Matthews cradles, looks for a lane, has the ball come out of his stick, gets to the floor, and then it's scooped up by Colorado only momentarily, though, as Jones has it. Jones, high shot, then gonna shoot as that goes off, and he's down on the floor in pain as Adam Jones took a big stick, and now we've got Mark Matthews tying up with Dan Coates in the corner. Fans love it, but Adam Jones is on the floor.
Yeah, I thought that could have been a high stick as Jones was coming across the top trying to get that shot off before the 30-second shot clock goes off, but it doesn't look like they got the call there.
Well, Jones in a great deal of discomfort just inside the Colorado offensive zone. And we're going to see, it looks like the Mammoth are going to get the ball at the end of this, but we're going to take a break. 7-5, Saskatchewan leading Colorado as Jones checks his teeth as he gets a round of applause as he heads off the floor. The third quarter is on. The Rush leads 7-5 over Colorado. Back with more from SaskTel Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in a moment. This is the National Lacrosse League on 98 Cool and tonight on NLLTV.com. While watching the game tonight on Twitter, you can just feel the excitement in the air. And Todd Joyce, the excitement was on the bench for the Saskatchewan Rush during that break.
There is nothing but excitement down here. There were some choice words. I'm glad I'm always on mute on those times. I expect Ben McIntosh to have a very, very solid quarter, because at the end of the day, he was the most angry. Adam Jones is back, and a Jones that is angry is a great Jones. So expect that one to be a lit fire on this one as well.
Well, emotions heating up, as you can well imagine, in playoff lacrosse, as Eli McLaughlin has it for Colorado on the restart. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter for O'Brien Sales and Leasing here in Saskatoon. Feed for Noble goes over his stick and back into Colorado territory. Going to be picked up there by Dylan Ward, the goaltender. And he's going to toss it all the way back down the floor into Saskatchewan territory, where the Rush will start out. 7-5, Saskatchewan leads. I want to say hi to some of our great sponsors. Great Canadian Bagel, Showtime Glass, Bridge City Electronics, Somewhere Else Pub and Grill, and Precon, bringing you National Lacrosse League action tonight on 98 Cool, across the world on Twitter, as Matthews heads towards the front of the goal, gets it to Dinsdale, his shot right on. Ward makes the save with Robert Church on the doorstep. Dylan Ward will scoop it up. Number 2 in the NLL in goals against, average and save percentage this season. He has had a great year. As Rouet has it for Colorado, entering the Saskatchewan zone on the left side. He'll play it down low. Twisting and turning there is Keogh. Keogh now back for Greer. Zach Greer on the right side. Greer going to shoot, scores! Zach Greer able to outweight Aaron Bold, and then slides it by him on the left side down low, and it's a 1-goal game.
Well, a bit of deja vu on that goal by Greer, because we saw him do that in the first quarter. He just, it's so pinpoint there. The bounce shot past the right arm of Aaron Bold, and from a tough angle too. I mean, there's not much to look at there if you're Zach Greer, but he hits his spot twice this game, and he's a man on a mission tonight by the looks of it. There's a lot of jump in his step tonight.
He knows what it means to be a champion in his league, having played with the Saskatchewan Rush prior to joining the Mammoth in a trade this season. As Thompson gets beat to the ball by the Mammoth, and they'll go right back on the attack. 7:50 to go in the O'Brien Sales and Leasing third quarter. Played far side for Callum Crawford. Crawford working on Soroketti on that far wing. Crawford takes a high stick. No penalty coming up, as Crawford is fouled by that on the far side of the floor, and you can see him speaking with the officials. No call coming. Greer now, long shot. Aaron Bold with the save. He'll collect the rebound himself and then play it far side for Adrian Soroketti. 7:26 now to go here in the third quarter. Officials saying, you guys sort this thing out. We don't want to.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mammoth 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Rusher 2 for 3 as Jones was streaking toward the goal, but he's upended en route and back up the floor. Here comes the Mammoth in transition. Dan Coates, the captain, twists and turns and then gives off for Keogh on the far side. Comes back to Jeremy Noble in the middle of the floor. He'll spot Zach Greer. He got his second goal of the night moments ago to make it a 7-6 advantage for the Rush. Rouet, his pass, then an errant shot that's going to trickle back towards the half point, but Rouet able to save it. Now a shot low and wide again, and this time the shot clock will expire, and the Rush will head towards the Mammoth zone to collect. 6:42 to go.
And just getting back to that high stick that wasn't called, you know, we could have said the same thing with Jones. You know, if they don't call that one, don't call that one. As long as it's consistent, both teams will be happy.
Absolutely. Marty Dinsdale plays it near side for Ben McIntosh. McIntosh from Matthews' far side sits the pick. Now we got a penalty coming up, or at least a whistle, as there was a pretty frivolous check being set, or pick being set by Keenan, and Ryan Keenan's going to head to the penalty box. So as soon as we said that, they're going to let him play. Keenan takes a penalty, and it'll be a second power play opportunity on the night for the Mammoth, who were 2 for 2 last week. They're 0 for 1 so far tonight, so the speedy collision penalty kill for the Rush is perfect thus far this evening. They need a big one here with 6.5 to go in the third quarter, only up by a goal. Noble getting some instructions from the official. Keenan penalized for 2 minutes or less. Ball comes near side for Greer. He'll play it down low for McLaughlin. Back to Greer on the give and go. For Noble, back to Greer. Greer going to spot Rouet coming out for Greer. Now another for Callum Crawford to McLaughlin, who scores. McLaughlin spotted right at the top of the crease, just like he was a week ago. And Eli McLaughlin having himself a night. That's his third of the evening, and it ties the Rush at 7.
Yeah, good quick ball movement on the top for the Colorado power play, and that just allows Eli McLaughlin to slip right up in front after a nice pick on the crease there by Rouet, and he makes no mistake, and that's just good ball movement and a nice drawn up play there by the Mammoth, gets them tied up. Nice play.
So Coates and Thompson will square off in the circle again. 6:15 to go here in the third quarter. Now tied at 7. This time Thompson wins the draw, tries to find Knight, who is streaking, but instead it's picked off by Brad Self. Nice athletic play to spot now Keogh coming off the bench. 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Mammoth with the ball. Played near side for McLaughlin. His third of the night has tied this game at 7. Played near side, now far side. Bounce pass that'll be scooped up by Keogh. 5:49 to go. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Mammoth. High shot going to be taken and off the end board and handled very easily by Aaron Bold. And back starts Tor Reinhold. And the Saskatchewan Rush tied at 7. Reinhold, his shot, that's high and wide in transition, and coming back the other way for the Mammoth. Dropped off. Geitch looks for a pass, finds Jeremy Noble off the bench. Tied at 7. Noble with the ball. Rouet sets a pick, then spins out. Aaron Bold, big stop. What a save by Aaron Bold to get that left hand up. And the Rush come back with Jeff Cornwall.
And you know, the Mammoth have had a lot of success with just the simple pick and roll that you teach the kids at a young age, and very just good fundamental pick and rolls there going to the net. And it just proves that it works at any age.
Jones back on the floor after being shaken up. Church now with the ball. Church on the left side, leaves it for McIntosh. Line fire and a low shot, but handled nicely by Ward. And then a feed for Self that was picked off in part by the Rush, and Self comes in transition. Now his shot saved by Bold. Scooping and kicking away at it are the Mammoth, and Bold is going to be able to scoop it up as Joey Capito. He'll take a hit to try to get a goal, and he's unable to find the loose ball on Ward as Messenger brings it into the offensive end. His pass for Dinsdale goes off a stick. Dinsdale, though, able to recover. Now plays it far side for Adam Jones. 4:21 to go. Tied at 7 tonight. Ball back for Messenger. That ball, though, goes off of his stick. Going to be scooped up by the Mammoth as it's still loose. Messenger, nice job to continue the battle, but Taylor Stewart able to feed it ahead for the Mammoth, bringing it up the floor. 4:06 to go. Callum Crawford on from the bench. Tied at 7. Crawford near side for Wardle. He'll play it down low for Greer. Zach Greer going to spill it out far side for Crawford. Now down low, high pass into the middle for Wardle, but Bold is able to scoop up the errant pass and feeds it out far side for Dilks. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter for O'Brien Sales and Leasing. Adam Jones and Mark Matthews now to the far side of the floor. 3.5 to go here in the third. Matthews shot, Ward saves, 7-7 tie, and here comes the transition. Long lead feed for Capito, in on Bold, shoots, scores! What a goal, Joey Capito, his first of the night, but will restore a lead for the Colorado Mammoth with 3:25 to go.
Well, we saw Dylan Ward overshoot Capito in the first quarter, and I said that's hard to do, and this time he's right on the money, and Capito comes in with a plan, and that's huge, especially for a guy with such speed. He's able to tone it down right at the edge of the crease and tiptoe it, come back short side and beat Bold, and he knows what he's doing on the breakaway, Dave. And it's Mammoth regained the lead here in the third.
Capito only 9 goals in the regular season, but that's a big one for his Mammoth, who take a lead 8-7 and erase a 2-goal deficit. Curtis Knight near side for Marty Dinsdale as the Rush go back on the attack. Dinsdale survives a check, then plays it for Ryan Keenan. He was in the penalty box when the Mammoth got to within 1 and was on the bench when the Mammoth tied it up. Now into the middle for Matthews. Wow. Scores! Right-handed! He used his opposite hand, heading to the goal, and he'll pound his chest. Saskatchewan Rush goal.
I mean, that's, you know, they're playing Colorado here, and it's kind of John Grant-esque. I mean, just the creativity going to the net, uses his body to just gain the space, keep the defender away from his stick, and there's no way Dylan Ward thought that shot was coming like that. And that's, you know, that's part of the thing when a guy makes a move like that, is the goaltender's not really expecting that shot to come. And wow, a couple beauties for Matthews here tonight.
He fended off Dan Coates with his left arm and shot with his right, and gives the Rush an equalizer. We're tied at 8. Into the final stages of the third quarter. We'll return to SaskTel Center in a moment. This is the National Lacrosse League tonight. You're watching your radio on Twitter and hearing it on 98 Cool.
There's a new... Hitting Rush Lacrosse. Live on 98 Cool.
Dave Thomas, Casey Guerin, Todd Joyce back at SaskTel Center.
And I think we just found where the line is for fanatical Saskatoon lacrosse fans. We got a guy in a Speedo and a watermelon bra trolling around, and that is something.
Well, Todd promises he'll put his suit on for the fourth quarter. Ball blown back in. Robert Church to work. Plays it far side for Matthews, who had a lane, but the ball goes off his stick and trickles into the corner. Mammoth start up the other way. Brad Self gets it to center. Will dash across and then going to hand the ball off to Jeremy Noble off the bench. 2:37 to go here in the third quarter. We're tied at 8 tonight. Game 2 of the West Division Final. The winner will take on Georgia in the Champions Cup in a couple of weeks. Game 1 being down in Georgia. Far side. Going to retrace his steps is Noble. Noble still with it, working away, and then a stick from Dykes gets in on him, and he'll give it up. Up the floor comes Soroketti for the rush. 2:11 to go here in the third quarter. He'll give it to Matthews, who'll swing it down to the far side for Keenan. 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. Matthews with the ball. On the right side of the floor, Matthews going to wind, going to then bounce out, fakes the handoff for Jones. Now comes near side for Dinsdale. Marty's Dinsdale, his shot right on, stopped by Ward. And Ward going to look for the quick transition, and he feeds it up the floor, looking far side for Taylor Stewart. The native of Coquitlam, though, couldn't catch up to it, and Adam Jones has it. His back pass for Tor Reinhold, who will turn it back the other way for Saskatchewan. Couple of hard cross checks on Mark Matthews as he stands on that far side boards, resting up again. It's been frantic. His pass far side for McIntosh. Save made by Ward. Up the floor come the Mammoth. Gonna try to go far side for Gillies, and Gillies had the ball go over his stick. Nice job, though, to corral the Karam off the boards, and then leaves it for Callum Crawford onto the floor. 71 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ball left for Wardle. Wardle then plays it down for Greer. Greer twisting, turning, gonna play it into the middle looking for Wardle. He can't come up with it. Now loose ball far side. Tor Reinhold for the rush, scoops it up. Gonna take a shot and a whack from behind, and the Mammoth, are they gonna turn it over? Yes, they are. Callum Crawford gonna get there. Crawford, nice job working on Midsky. Crawford still working on Midsky, and now he'll throw it back into the middle. Keogh onto the floor. McLaughlin going to join him, as is Noble. Long shot, and that's going to go a million miles wide and off the end boards and out of play.
The Mammoth were looking for the 2-for-1 there, but couldn't get a shot on that.
So here comes Cornwall. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Mark Matthews in the offense comes back on, tied at 8 through nearly 45 minutes of play. Adam Jones had 6 goals a week ago, has 1 tonight. As the Rush work the give and go, there's a 5-second disparity on the shot clock and the game clock. Now played for Curtis Knight near side. Knight gonna bubble out. Still looking. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, and then a shot right on by McIntosh. Rebound, they score! Robert Church is gonna give the Rush a lead with 6 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Well, that's a good break, because McIntosh was looking for that shot from the top of the floor, and Dylan Ward went down, and he was lucky that he got a piece of that shot, and it ricochets off the end boards and right to Robert Church, who makes no mistake, who puts it home. And that's a tough one if you're the Mammoth, because on the other end you were looking for the 2-for-1, and I understand that, but it was a shot from way out, and it gave the ball right back to the Rush with just that 5-second disparity, as you mentioned, between the shot clock and the game clock.
Coates will win a draw for the Mammoth against Thompson. Up the floor looking for the last shot. The Mammoth won't get it. So through 3 quarters, the Saskatchewan Rush lead Colorado 9-8. Fourth quarter action is coming up. This is the National Lacrosse League tonight on 98 Cool and across the world on Twitter.
This past NLL season was incredible. It was exciting. It was jam-packed with amazing goals.
Here's Miles Thompson, puts it back and scores!
scores!
Incredible saves.
Carlson with absolute robbery on...
And huge games.
And he ends it. Vancouver is going home for the playoffs.
And if you don't have your subscription to NLLTV.com, you're going to miss out on all of that action during the 2018 season. And can you imagine if your group of friends is sitting there talking about the greatest plays from the night before, and you're the only one to not have your subscription? You're going to be missing out.
Don't be that person. Make sure to head on over to the NLL website to get your subscription today to make sure, well, you're part of that conversation, and also to make sure that you don't miss a minute of 2018.
I've got mine. She's got hers. Get yours today.
Screech of a child's first basket? Maybe it's experiencing traditional...
Back at SaskTel Center, Dave Thomas, Casey Guerin, Todd Joyce. 9-8, the Rush lead the Mammoth. How big was that Robert Church goal? Well, when leading after 3 quarters this season, the Rush are 10-1. While trailing after 3 quarters, the Mammoth are 0-8. It's a whole new ball game as we're underway here in the 4th quarter. As the Mammoth going to win the draw. They have been terrific in the face-off circle tonight as Colorado. The 4th quarter is brought to you by Opa Restaurants in Saskatoon. Ball near side for Crawford. Back to Greer. Greer has had a heck of a night. Played for McLaughlin, who's got 3. Now for Noble. Noble makes a man miss, then takes a shot right on. Aaron Bold scoops up the rebound. Nice play by the Rush goaltender. Long lead feed for Jeremy Thompson. 28 seconds into the 4th quarter tonight. The Rush leading 9-8. Mammoth have been terrific all night. This has been a heck of a game that's gone back and forth. Ryan Keenan on from the bench. Leaves it near side for Matthews into Keenan. Scores! Are you kidding me? Ryan Keenan kept out of the crease and makes a beautiful goal to give the Rush a 2-goal lead.
Well, Dave, that's just such a low, like it worked out and that's great, but these guys are so skilled. That's such a low percentage play when you got a lefty cutting that way towards the net, because he's got to then bring his stick back out in front and get it through Dylan Ward without going into the crease, and that just shows how skilled these guys are. Mark Matthews threads the needle to get the pass in there, and Keenan does it all in one motion and keeps himself out of the crease. That's just a heck of a play by 2 skilled offensive lefties.
Didn't take long for Pat Coyle and the Mammoth coaching staff to throw the red flag on the floor, because this is going to be close.
Yeah, and it's just such a hard play to actually make work out. That you know, if I'm them, you know, you can't take the challenges with you in the offseason, Dave, so you may as well use them.
Well, and again, this is going to be really, really close as Keenan was headed towards that crease, and it's going to be millimeters we're talking about here for Keenan. He had a goal disallowed a week ago when he had a foot in the crease in the back of the net. This time he was going in, and I'm not sure what kind of look we're going to get, but the officials are going to get every available angle. As well, you can imagine Keenan was some kind of excited when he got that goal, but we've seen a couple of views on the scoreboard, and this is going to be close, folks. I know Rush fans are sitting on the edge of their seats as they are down in Colorado tonight. Again, a big hi to the crew at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton, the Alamo Draft House at Sloan's Lake, and Bender's Bar and Grill, standing room only in those facilities.
Hey now.
And right now they are, as is the rest of Rush Nation, on the edge of their seat, checking out whether or not this Ryan Keenan goal is going to stand. And We get an overhead look, and you can hear what the fans think. Todd Joyce, do you want to weigh in?
Well, I think this is exactly what Casey said. If you want to wear shoes that are going to disguise, make sure they're white. I think that's a good goal.
Well, they've stopped it on the scoreboard where you can see green between the shoe of Ryan Keenan and that white outline of the crease.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like if I'm Pat Coyle, I'm thinking there's no way that play worked out without going in the crease. Like it's just such a skilled play for that to actually work out.
Well, we'll wait and see where we stand. You can hear the Rush Nation on their feet chanting goal. We'll see if the officials concur. You're going to know right away. Here we go. Good goal. Pound your chest, Saskatchewan. It's a Rush marker from the rookie Keenan. 10-8, Saskatchewan leads. They had a 2-goal lead back in the third quarter. The Mammoth were able to respond. Can they do it again? 45 seconds into the fourth quarter, just like last week when Mark Matthews scored very early in the fourth quarter. Messenger wins a faceoff.
To himself.
Takes the ball, shot right on by Hossack, and he's got a man on his back, and the Mammoth are going to bring it back in transition. Up the floor they come. A minute into the fourth quarter, the Rush leading by 2. Winner advances to the Champions Cup final. Rouet with the ball. Plays it into the near side corner for Callum Crawford. Crawford for Greer. Far side working on Mitski. Then he's going to take a shot that goes off Mitski, and up the floor comes Messenger. Puts his nose down, but Geitch has got an angle on him coming onto the floor. Messenger still scores! Messenger, what a goal! Fights off not one, but 2 checks. Pound your chest, Saskatchewan. That's a beauty. Rush goal.
And pound your chest, John Fraser. Somewhere in this building, he's going nuts. And man, I mean, they don't call him the man trap or the beast. What do they call him, Dave? They call him something. He's just such, like, he's just so strong, and his presence of mind is, you know, it looks like he's getting in trouble, pulls it out, then takes it to the net. And, you know, he's number 3 overall pick this year, and he's been such a big piece for this Rush all year.
Mark Matthews was standing at the edge of the crease in awe. You could tell he wanted the ball, but he was the biggest cheerleader when that went in.
It's almost like once a game, he makes a play that just makes his step back and say, man, you know, like what a play by that guy.
So the rookies come through for the Rush. Keenan and Messenger with back-to-back goals. Saskatchewan leads 11-8, and then Jones takes a shot. That just goes wide. Knight able to play the ball to himself. He'll run out of time on the shot clock. The Mammoth scoop it up, bring it back in transition. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter for Opa Restaurants, and here comes the ball. Played near side for Crawford. He can't scoop it up, and here comes LaFontaine with Dilks. But LaFontaine going to slow things up and allow the offense to come on. 12:46 to go. His pass to Matthews near side for McIntosh. His start is interrupted on the way to the goal, and is picked up by the Mammoth. Up the floor they come. Streaking on that far side is Brad Self. He's got it himself with Geitch going to the middle. Working on Dilks on that far side. Now for Crawford, back near side for Noble. Jeremy Noble got a goal tonight, had a hat trick last week. Noble near side, gonna step out, feed it far side, shot, that's stopped by Bold. McIntosh though can't scoop up the rebound. McLaughlin has it again. Crawford winds, fires McIntosh in the road. Then McLaughlin, his shot goes off the outside of the net. Crawford tries to scoop it up, he can't. McLaughlin has it. Messenger able to get onto the floor for the Rush on a delayed change after the transition. Ball near side. Played into the stick of Crawford. Callum Crawford back, far side for Wardle. He's going to wind but not fire, plays it back for Crawford. His pass far side goes off a stick, but right into the netting of Chris Wardle. Wardle now plays it into the middle. Big body check. Up the floor come the Rush. As Messenger started mixing it up right below us with Keogh. And Keogh and Messenger are still talking, and the Mammoth are going to be awarded the ball.
I think that's what you call finishing your check. Took him about 20 feet to the boards there, didn't he?
Yeah, that's not quite legal. McLaughlin on the restart gets the ball. 11:35, Saskatchewan leading Colorado 11-8. Played down into the corner for the Mammoth. Stepping out, looking for a shooting lane is Noble. Now into the middle, trying to find Greer. He comes away with it, but Bold able to make the stop. And then on his knees, Kyle Rubish gets it to Jeremy Thompson. Thompson starting up the floor. He's all alone as the offense isn't coming on. Mark Matthews holds up his hand. Stop, stop, stop. Let's set up. Thompson listens, and it's played by Dinsdale into the far side for Robert Church. 11:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Rush lead by 3. Matthews with the ball near side. Now into the middle, trying to find a streaking Dinsdale. Can't come up with it, but Jones comes up with a carom off the wall. He tries to quick stick it, and then he'll just play it up over top of the glass off the netting, and the Rush defense will have to go back to work. 10:50 to go in the fourth quarter. 11-8, the Rush leading the Mammoth. Mammoth come up the floor. Look near side for Keogh. He was in an epic battle with Messenger moments ago. Pass far side back to Keogh. Look to wine and fire. Now he's going to battle with his man there again. Back for Crawford. Crawford to the far side of the floor. Shot by Self is right on. Aaron Bold, another stop. He plays it up far side in transition for Hossack. Hossack going to slow things down again with the Rush up by 3. 10:20 to go. McIntosh has it. Plays it far side for Knight. Curtis Knight into the middle looking for Jones. Backhand shot that goes just wide. Rebound caroms off the end boards, and it's picked up by Sweeting. Bryce Sweeting brings it up the floor. Going to dish it off into the corner for Eli McLaughlin. Rush look to set up the defense. Noble now looking into the middle. Loose ball going to be knocked away from Greer, and then Thompson picks it up. Jeremy Thompson with Kyle Rubish standing beside him says, "You got this, we're okay." 9:44 to go. Tensions high. Rush up by 3. Played to the far side. Trying to find some room is Dinsdale. Now down low, looking for Keenan. Quick shot is stopped by Ward. And again, as good as Aaron Bold has been tonight, Ward has come up with some dandies as well. Ball brought back in transition. A near side for Crawford, who's quick off the bench. Now drop down low. Back near side for Noble. He winds, doesn't fire. Now plays it out far side for Chris Wardle. Wardle into the middle. Shot by Rouet is stopped by Bold. And here comes LaFontaine. LaFontaine in transition. Matthews first out on the floor. Into the middle for Knight. His shot. It's loose. Ward going to stop it, though, and put his stick on it. 9 minutes now to go in the fourth quarter for Opa Restaurants. Mammoth pushing the pace in this game. Cradling the ball near the line, going to bounce it for Rouet. Rouet has it, makes a man miss, then plays it into the middle. Shot is low, Bold able to get a right foot on it. Crawford, though, scoops up the rebound, now plays it back to Rouet as Zach Greer checks in on offense. 8:38 to go. Crawford gets away from Thompson, going to wind, fire, that goes wide. Greer on the rebound, plays it near side for Crawford. He can't handle it, takes a hit from Soroketti and able to back pass it to Rouet. Rouet back to Greer, his shot. That goes hard off the end boards, and it'll go back over into the Colorado zone with 8:19 to go. Saskatchewan leading Colorado. We'll take a break at SaskTel Center and come back with more. This is the National Lacrosse League playoffs on 98 Cool and tonight on Twitter.
Daddy, can you
To a 5-goal run by the Rush. Todd Joyce, it looked feverish down between the benches in that break.
You know, they are getting at each other in between. They're yelling across at the benches, but I can tell one big difference between the benches. The Rush still have energy right now. They're up, they're standing tall, they're ready to go. The Mammoth, on the other hand, though, they are tired. You can see the hands on the knees. They're buckling down a little bit. They're taking some deep breaths. So we'll see how that plays out in this fourth quarter.
All right, thank you, Todd. As we're back underway, the Rush take the ball on offense, up by 3. Played to the far side for McIntosh. He'll give it to Jones, then go down low. Far side for Robert Church. Into the middle for Keenan. Back to Church. He has it with 8 minutes to go now. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Played down into the corner. Near side for Matthews. Matthews far side looking for Church, who was cutting towards the goal. Church just going to swat it towards the goal and into the corner as the shot clock will expire and the Mammoth bring it back the other way. 7:48 to go in the Opa Restaurants fourth quarter. Ball played near side for Wardle coming off the bench. 17 for the Mammoth, plays it to the far side. Mammoth trailing by 3. They've been outscored 3-0 in the fourth quarter. Ball played near side for Noble. Noble looking for an outlet, now just going to wind, fire, shot! That goes off the side of the net. Aaron Bold with a save. Brett Mitski in on the rebound. His long lead feed, though, is scooped up by the Mammoth on a turnover, and Wardle will dish it off into the corner for Callum Crawford as the offense for Colorado goes back to work. Played near side, now back to Wardle at the top. Down to the far side, into the middle for Rouet, who had a step, and then it's scooped up by Matt Hossack, and the Rush come back the other way in some frantic action on the restart. Hossack with the ball, cradles, will wait for the offense to come on and then give it to the rookie Keenan. Ryan Keenan, far side for Marty Dinsdale, down low for Curtis Knight. Knight takes a pick from Dinsdale, then leaves it for Jones. Back to Knight, his shot, that's high over top of the net. Matthews trying to find it, Keenan does. Keenan able to avoid a check, then he'll shoot with the wrong hand, and that shot goes off the glass, and here comes that transition game. Brad Self up for the Mammoth on the right-hand side, tries to hit Rouet, he finds him, and Rouet puts it in the back of the net for Colorado. Cutting into the Rush lead, 11-9, Rouet with a nice shot on a nifty feed from Self.
Yeah, you know, and I think if you're the Rush, you're up 3 goals with under 7 minutes left. The last thing you want to do is get transition to the Mammoth. You've been good all game, keeping them at bay with that. And I was just thinking that Colorado, the last few minutes, have had to settle for a lot of outside shots, whereas earlier on in the game, that pick and roll was working, cutting through the middle. They were getting opportunities in tight, so the Rush defense had been standing tall for the last few minutes. And that's, you know, if you're Colorado, as much as transition as you can get right now, the better.
6.5 to go. Rubis does a nice job of collecting that pass on a one face-off by the Rush. Soroketti for Hossack on the far side, and he'll slow things down. Pardon me, that was Dilks. He'll go off the floor, leaves it for Robert Church. 6:13 to go, the Rush lead by 2. Church, he's going to dance around a couple of players and then comes out of his stick, but Jones able to scoop it up. Jones fires Ward, able to make the stop, and Ward is going to feed it out to the far side for the Mammoth, trailing now by just 2. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the Opa Restaurants fourth quarter. Eli McLaughlin, he'll come on near side for Noble, winds, fires. Aaron Bold able to get his left arm on it. Rebound scooped up by the Mammoth. Fresh 30. McLaughlin has it. 5:42 to go. Played near side for Crawford. Down to Noble in the corner. Noble going to start to bounce out. Use a pick now. Still looking. Noble can't find a lane. Nice job there by the Rush defense. Noble into the corner. Crawford going to dance out. Crawford makes a man miss initially, then going to head to the net. Takes a shot, and that bounce shot goes off the turf and over the glass and out. 5:23 as Tor Reinhold will pick it up for the Rush in his own zone. Mammoth defense going to press him as he comes up the floor. Played near side, high pass, corralled neatly by Jeff Cornwall, and he'll play it for Matthews. Matthews for Marty Dinsdale. Dinsdale has some room, then going to stop it up. Near side for Matthews. Matthews over to Dinsdale. Dinsdale has it once again, trying to make a man miss. Now takes it to the net, has the ball knocked out of his stick, and goes into the corner.
We talked about high sticks that didn't get called earlier. I think you can add that one to the list.
Well, again, staying consistent, though.
Yeah, you're right.
The officials didn't call it early. They're not going to call it now. Rouet scored the last goal for Colorado. He's got the ball in his stick again. Waits for Crawford to come onto the floor. 4:41 to go. Crawford far side for Wardle. Plays it down into the corner. Near side. Noble scores! Jeremy Noble, low shot, able to sneak by Aaron Bold. And once again, it's a 1-goal game on Noble's second goal of the night.
And that's a big one for the Mammoth, an outside shot. And like I said, they've had a lot of outside shots lately because they haven't been able to work opportunities in tight like they were earlier on in the game. And Noble squeezes that one past Bolt, and that's a big one for that offense. That will hopefully get them sparked if you're the Colorado Mammoth.
Noble's second goal, 6th of the postseason, gets Colorado back within 1. And Gaich able to win the draw for the Mammoth. Go right back on the attack after cutting the lead down to 1. The Mammoth have had a couple of deficits to erase tonight, and they've responded both times. Looking for the equalizer now. Ball into the far side corner, now into the middle. Greer, shoot, that goes wide. Another shot, that's off the end boards wide. Greer going to collect the rebound. Reinhold crawls in on him. Ball still loose. Greer able to play it back towards Crawford. And in transition, Messenger going to bring it up the floor. 4 minutes to go in this game.
Man, Zach Greer is everywhere tonight. You can see the determination in his game.
Messenger backs in, now plays it back for Ryan Keenan. Into McIntosh as Messenger's going to stay on in offense. McIntosh for Jones. He fakes the shot. Jones going to carry it in, takes a shot near side. Nice save there by the goaltender Ward. And then Jones upended on his way back up the floor. In transition come the Mammoth. 3:35 to go. Colorado trailing by 1. Ball bounce near side for Keogh onto the floor. Keogh, though, going to be attacked by 3 Rush players. Keogh, though, still with the ball. He'll come away with it. Down low, Crawford, his shot. That goes off goaltender Aaron Bold. What a play there by Keogh, 1-on-3.
We've seen that from him earlier on in the season, too. He can hang on to that ball, man.
Up the floor comes John LaFontaine. Plays it for Marty Dinsdale with 3:06 to go. Far side for Knight. Near side for Matthews. Far side looking for Knight once again. The ball bounced away from him after a quick stick by the Mammoth. Knight, though, able to recover. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Looking for Matthews, but Matthews can't come down with it and is going to lose his stick as the Mammoth come back in transition. Back and forth we go. 1-goal game. Noble with the ball on the left side. Noble looks, under check by Mitski. Back for Crawford. His pass for Rouet bounces, but Rouet able to recover. Now playing it far side into the middle. McLaughlin, what a save! Aaron Bold!
I think that caught the post.
Now back to the floor for Greer. 2:26 to go. Rush lead by 1. Far side into the near side from Crawford. His shot right on. Aaron Bold makes the save. Bold gonna whip it up. Up the floor comes Thompson in transition. Thompson looks like he was going to shoot. Now he's under check by a couple of players. Bounces it near side for Church. 2 minutes to go in the Opa Restaurants fourth quarter. Adam Jones with it. Adam still with the ball. Jones looking. Now gives to Matthews, far side. Found a man in McIntosh momentarily. Now back for Keenan. His shot. That goes wide off the official and back into the corner with 1:49 to go. Dylan Ward with the ball. Plays it up on the far side for Taylor Stewart. Stewart gives to Crawford coming off the bench on the near side. Played into the corner for Noble. Colorado with the ball and on the attack, down by a goal. Wardle has it. Wardle near side. Now goes far side. McLaughlin with the ball. His shot. That goes off Rubish. Kyle Rubish goes to the floor trying to find the ball. It's in his legs as 2 Rush players and Messenger and Rubish try to scoop it up, and the Rush come away with it. 98 seconds to go. 11-10. Saskatchewan leading. Knight has it. Fans coming to their feet, trying to cheer their team on to the Champions Cup final. Played far side. Jones has it near side for Matthews. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Knight shot, saved by Ward.
That's a big reset.
Knight behind the net. Plays the ball near side for Keenan. 52 seconds to go. Keenan has the ball to Jones in the corner. Jones looks up. 18 seconds to go on the shot clock. Adam Jones, the former Colorado Mammoth, takes the ball as someone's jumped onto the floor.
Oh, what an idiot.
7 seconds to go on the shot clock.
What an idiot.
And 35 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Somebody get him off the floor.
Saskatchewan leads Colorado 11-10. We'll take our final break and come back for the conclusion of this West Division semifinal. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on Twitter and 98 Cool. Getting everything sorted out with the clock. Tonight's attendance, 14,052 on hand. Who want to see the Rush make it to the Champions Cup final. There's a long 60 seconds or less to go in this game though tonight, Casey.
Yeah, and you know, it was a big reset there, getting that shot off, getting the reset, getting the ball, setting back up again, ability to kill another 30 seconds potentially. I know that, I'm not sure where the shot, it looks like the shot clock's at 8 right now as they blow it in, so the Rush are going to have to get another shot here, but look for maybe not even all their offensive players to be on the floor to start this off. They might have a couple defenders on there, but look to get a shot off and hopefully a rebound in the corner if you're the Rush. If you're the Mammoth, get the ball. I'm not sure if they want to time it right away, but certainly expect Dylan Ward to head to the bench.
Play is blown in. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Comes near side for Church. She's going to shoot. Ward makes the save. 28 seconds to go. Goaltender off for the Mammoth. 6-on-5 with 26 seconds to go. Shot clock, game clock are even. Noble has it. Colorado trailing by 1. Down low. Back for Crawford. Into the middle for Noble. Noble winds. His shot goes wide, but not going to hit the net. No reset. Ball comes back to Noble into the middle. Back pass for Crawford. His shot well wide. Greer on the rebound. Back for Noble in the middle. His shot goes off bodies. 2-1. Pound your chest, Saskatchewan. They're the West Division champions and will play for a third consecutive Champions Cup in 2 weeks against the Georgia Swarm after an 11-10 victory over the Colorado Mammoth tonight. Casey, wow.
I mean, exactly what we expected. Another tight game between these two teams. And, you know, the Colorado Mammoth had a very good season. I mean, they really came a long way this year. They didn't have to go through the Calgary Roughnecks, which, you know, been their kryptonite in the last few years. But this team does not make a whole lot of mistakes. They're hard to play against. They got good transition. You know, obviously one of the best goalies in the league. And they've run into a buzzsaw here and what's almost becoming a dynasty with this Rush team. And, you know, the Rush have got a unique blend of youth and experience, and you know they're all pretty much in their prime right now, obviously going for their third Champions Cup here, and they're going to run into, it's going to be a great series with the Georgia Swarm, who beat them in the first game of the season. Of course, the Rush were without Aaron Bold at that time, but man, they're scoring goals at a historic level, and something's got to give here in the finals. So it's, again, congratulations to the Mammoth on a good season.
Absolutely Herculean effort tonight by the Mammoth, erasing multiple goal deficits throughout this game as the teams shake hands tonight at SaskTel Center. The final score, Saskatchewan 11, Colorado 10. The Champions Cup final starts in 2 weeks in Georgia, where the Swarm will take on the two-time defending champion Rush. You've been watching the National Lacrosse Leagues and playoff action tonight on NLLTV.com, Twitter across the world, and of course listening at home tonight on 98 Cool.
Oh!